Interesting talking to Matt Henry as we look through the teams there, and you can read those names for yourself, and it is a real galaxy of stars in the top order for the Central District's side. Matt Henry and Daryl Mitchell will certainly have something to say with the ball for the Canterbury Kings. I'm hoping to have something to say with the bat as well at some stage, especially Daryl Mitchell. But I think they suspected this might happen, talking to Matt Henry and Daryl Mitchell after their last outing in Napier, and they thought that the Hearts might find a way to upset the Blaze, and this is why we are here, of course. The Hearts finishing the regular season second, the Blaze in third, which means the Canterbury Magicians advance straight to the final, which will be at the Basin Reserve. But because of the way the draw was made, the second place qualifier in the women's section of the Super Smash got home advantage for both of these matches. I think I've just made that explanation worse, actually. Powerful start.
Really interested to see whether this surface is going to offer any sideways movement. It doesn't look as hard as it usually is here.
Oh! That's straight as a dive from Matt Henry. First up. It's a fresh looking surface, isn't it?
Yeah, it's new. And just that delivery there that was full and it hit very, very high on the bat. And that's something that Eden Park pitches, be it this one, be it the one out in the main ground, can do. And be difficult for batting, is it can offer that high bounce off a length.
Yeah, there's a little shape there for Matt Henry.
The average score here is right up there, batting first in particular, is right up there in the high 100s, 190, around about that. But a lot of that scoring can be done in the second half of the innings. It's always a ground, I feel, where you've just got to show the new ball an element of respect.
Well, we saw the Firebirds post a mammoth total here last weekend. 6 days ago, in fact. Right at a different pitch, but closer to the Sandringham Road side here. So short boundary, leg side. The right-handers. Oh, good nut.
Yeah, definitely more grass in this one, looking to the old used one, which produced a lot of runs. Staggering performance from the Firebirds, just feeling for that one. And some movement away as well.
He's on a good length here, Matt Henry. Just the one that drifted down leg to work up. And again.
I don't dislike that approach from Cleaver. When you're facing a bowler like Henry, who will go, all right, there's something in the surface for me. I'm just going to look to bowl very traditional, hit the wicket hard on a length. Then it's the batsman's job to create the length from there for him.
There's an edge dropped.
Yeah, Daryl Mitchell standing very wide there, more at a second slip or a 1.5. Just a genuine little push forward. You'd be disappointed not to take that. It's a very, very comfortable height, and it wasn't that wide of him either. In and out. Bad miss.
Yeah, big let off for Dane Cleaver, who's been under the pump here. 3 dot balls straight. And they'll take a quick single to finish the over. That is a very good start from Matt Henry. Opportunity in it. It is 2 without loss.
Very similar records for both these sides. This is how the Stags got to the elimination final. They finished second in pool play. And they've played the Kings twice and beaten them pretty convincingly twice as well. Beat them in the last game to finish above them. Finished on equal points with the Kings, but had a better net run rate.
Very good at home. 4-1 record at home across New Plymouth and Napier, both small grounds. These are the kinds of dimensions that suit this batting lineup, especially if George Worker gets going today. Run out in his last match against the Kings. Ed Nuttall into the attack. They'll stick with their pace.
Now, finishing second is important in the very likely scenario that after 2 super overs, they can't be split. It happens. In which case the team that finishes in the higher position, as in the Stags, will go through to the final.
Yeah, or more simply, if this match is rained off, they go through too.
Yeah. Highly unlikely in Auckland, that Scotty. Oh, chance! Oh. That would have been out by Miley. Gave up. Just gave up.
Oh, shades of last week. Between these two, between the wickets, you do not want to jog through on a quick single here. Just the hesitation. Had 3 stumps to aim at. That is a close run thing, Todd Astle.
That's possibly one of the worst singles ever taken. There was never one there.
That's what pressure does. Really good over from Matt Henry to start. Guys trying to work their runs, work their way into the runs, and they take risks. That's what happens.
Yeah, and it's also a great illustration, Scotty, in the way that selectors will watch what happens and the way players conduct and manage themselves in final situations.
It's amazing in this format of the game, though, isn't it, Rick, how pressure can build so quickly. One over, you look calm, composed. The next, it's panicked and chaotic. It messes with your head, T20 cricket.
This one for the over.
It's quite sharp, Knuckle, isn't he? Well, this is Henry. This is the chance that went down in the first over. And then you have to chalk this up as a chance. Had a good angle to throw there too. Pretty much had all 3 to aim at. Ed Nuttall, I was watching him bowl, just warming up and on the outfield or on a used surface, and not a huge man, but got quite a lot of bounce.
Oh, he's gone after that. And that is well put away. First boundary of the innings goes to George Worker.
Well, there's bounce, and then there's long hops outside off stump. It's a different type of bounce. Asking to be spanked.
First real deviation from a good line from the bowlers today. You can't offer George Worker that sort of width. Not at all. 16 sixes he's hit this season, George Worker. Yeah, it's gone! There won't be another one. Ed Nuttall, a similar delivery. This time George Worker just mistimes it.
Yeah, bang on there. He's just clocked this. As you say, it just didn't come off the bat. It was definitely there to have a look at. It was short again, not quite as wide. And it was a gift.
Gonna have a look for a no ball here.
Yeah, that looks fine. Thank you. Satisfied. Fair delivery.
Fair delivery. The Bows catch stands. George Worker departs. Just 4 on the board for him. And CD under the pump early. 7 for 1.
Yeah, one of the...
Left arm over. One to come and one for the over. One for the over.
Will Young, the new batsman for Central District, 7 for 1. George Worker caught Bowes, bowled Nuttall. Last ball of the over. And Young will take the single to finish. 8 for 1 after 2.
Yeah, big wicket this for the Kings. Just high on the bat. Might have even got a little bit of glove in there. It just didn't come off the bat at all. It was short. Ball he could repeat the dose to, and he'd be pretty disappointed with that Worker, because he would have seen 4 when that ball pitched. Now he's seen the inside of the changing sheds.
Just didn't have the same kind of width, did it? George Worker thought he saw the same picture, delivered very next ball after hitting for 4. This one was just a little tighter.
Yeah, and left arm angle to the left-handed batsman is always closing in on you, taking the room away. But a good wicket, because Worker's been one of the form players, one of the top run scorers in the competition. Well, Young, though, one of the hot shots in New Zealand cricket.
Well, he's presented with a big opportunity here, Will Young, to post a big score. Big totals have eluded him through this tournament, largely. Not ranked inside the top 10 batsmen in the comp. But he's got so much experience now.
Tough task for Young too, because if you think what's his best opportunity at the next level at the moment, it's in the test matches. He's next cab off the rank when it comes to test cricket.
It's a good shot.
Lovely Shippo, love him. Oh, the rocket, there he is. The rocket's back, boys.
Henry Shipley getting some praise from behind the stumps. The rocket.
Well, I think it's got something to do with his strong arm, because he got that ball in quick pronto and in no time. And it hit the keeper's gloves pretty hard too.
Yeah, good shot. Easy couple. It's amazing, isn't it? As we mentioned before, about how quickly the game can change. First over, Matt Henry. Very economical, challenging the batsman on a good length. Already this over, 5 runs from it. Hasn't had the same look. That's that red ball length that he loves.
Yeah, he just keeps things pretty simple. Often used at the death as well. He has his off-cutters and change-ups. But up front, looks to hit that in-between length if he can. Just bowl down the channel. You get it right, with a bit of assistance, it's tough to face.
Fuller this time, was looking for a bit more shape there. Matt Henry giving it the opportunity. We talk about it a lot, but bears repeating, you do not get too many overs and this ball will swing for you. You've got to make it count in the first 2-3. 4 really on the outer limits, especially in the men's game, bowling at pace. Maybe some trepidation here, I think, too, from Will Young. He'll know how important it is to get in on this pitch. Well, trepidation, be damned. It's gone onto the bank for 6. Big shot to finish. It is 20 for 1.
Yeah, simple. He stood there for a wee while, Young, because he really didn't give it the kitchen sink at all, and I think he was a little bit concerned that He might have offered a catch in the outer. In the end, it cleared by some way. A lovely piece of timing.
Yeah, fairly effortlessly, 12 runs off the over. No risks. A couple of doubles taken, and then 1-6. Oh, driven, punished, in fact. That's 4 more. Great shot, done, Cleaver.
Well, Nuttall has the wicket here, but he's also offered some genuine scoring opportunities in his first 7 deliveries. This one is a wide half volley to go with a short long hop, wide long hop the first over.
There's just no margin for error. Not in this part of the game, halfway through the power play. One in the deep on either side of the wicket.
It looks like a good surface, but it also looks like with the new ball and a hard seam, if you can find the right area, you'll get a little bit out of it, enough to make life difficult. But you miss, you'll get hit.
Leading edge there, has to go back, has to hustle. And the dive, and it hits Young.
I think this would have been out. Came a long way down. Had to turn sharp, good dive. Touch and go.
I don't know if it's just a communication issue. Cleaver involved in the run out of worker last week. A bit of incommunication, or miscommunication, should I say. Oh, that's very wide. Walked across to it, and that saved him. Nuttall was following him along.
Yeah, I think good piece of bowling this from Nuttall. Saw him coming, threw it out wide. Planned to keep the ball outside the off stump.
Stop start here, isn't it, from Dane Cleaver? Just trying to find his mojo. Work through the gears. He's a risky kind of batsman. Doesn't mind throwing the bat at it, as he does on that occasion. Hits the stumps, there's an appeal. It's all happening out here.
No, they're not going to go and have a look at this. You'll be careful in this situation when you're batting that you're not lazy, that you're not slow, and you don't plonk your bat. I've seen many batsmen get done there because it's not a genuine run between the wickets. You sort of just plonk your bat in the crease, and so often it can be in the air and you get caught short. No harm done.
Oh, it's lovely. That is absolutely lovely.
Is it wide? It's another long half volley though. He hasn't found a great length, Nuttall. He's been 2 lengths so far in these 2 overs, either full or short. They needed the boundary though, the Stags, didn't they? Because those little run-out chances and near mix-ups there, they're a result of not being able to get underway at the rate they want to get underway in these first few overs. So that'll be a welcome boundary.
Takes the bottom edge this time. He's using all of his bat, that's for sure, Dane Cleaver. 28 for 1 after 4. Leo Carter's mic'd up. out in the middle for us. Good morning to you, Leo. Scotty and Rig here, mate.
Morning, guys. How you going? All right?
We're good, pretty good start. You're pretty happy about where you have them in terms of runs on the board?
Yeah, certainly. It's pretty good start. I think the wicket just looked like a little bit sticky on top, and there was perhaps a little bit of swing there to start. But yeah, limiting the power play, especially here at Eden Park, is pretty crucial. So yeah, pretty happy with that.
I mean, you would have played at Eden Park plenty of times, I'd imagine, but does it feel a little bit weird not playing Auckland here?
Yeah, it's definitely weird, Rigger. So, and the crowd's very quiet as well. It's like nothing. Yeah.
This is Auckland. They won't actually be going for a Canterbury team. So you are the away team. Have no doubts about that.
Cheers, mate.
Oh, that is big. Got all of that and more. 6 on the board. Young. He is striking cleanly. Will Williams goes for a maximum first ball.
Yeah, once again, just lovely timing. It was off the front foot too, so it wasn't that short, just short enough to provide some leverage.
Great balance in the shot from Will Young, just holds his pose. Rigger makes a good point about Cantabs here in Auckland, Leo, but in fairness, they probably don't know where Central Districts is.
Down. Nice, Bill.
Pulling straight and hit. Hey, but mate, what's the mindset coming in here? Well, I asked the captain, Kyle McConkey, earlier. You know, you've played these guys twice. They've been on the right end of the result twice. So
that's right.
What does that do for you guys?
Oh, look, to be honest, I don't think it really matters a heck of a lot. We would have liked to have won those 2 games, but I suppose it's, you know, it's at a neutral venue. It's a one-off game, so yeah, it's kind of anybody's.
Oh, down on it, hit him.
Big effort ball that. You can hear Williams grunts, exertion. What's Will Williams like as a teammate, Leo? Guy gives obviously plenty of effort when he's got the ball in his hand.
Yeah, he's brilliant. He actually, I'm not sure with the cold setter, he scored the winning try for the Oldies this morning in touch as well. So I'd expect him to be on good form with the ball here as well.
What qualifies you for the Oldies nowadays?
Oh, down, come on.
We're at about, I think it's about 27 and older. I'm still on the youngies, which is good. But they got Fultzy as well on their side repping, so it's difficult.
Yeah, he was appalling in some of the decisions today too.
It was tough. I think he just does it just to rile some of the guys up as well. Perhaps,
in fairness,
perhaps it's great coaching, I don't know.
In fairness, it was 7 on 6.
It was, yeah, it's a good call.
Oh, he's gone after that again. And that's 4 more on the board. Clean strike this time from Cleaver.
Yeah, now this is a little counter thrust, isn't it? From the Stags, a little slow to get started, but they survived. A couple of near misses. That's a fine piece of timing as well.
Hurry up, Billy. Hurry up, Billy. Good bomber, boys. Bomber. Down, nice, Bill. Nice, Bill.
Nice, Bill.
Just the one to finish.
Nice, Jazz. Nice,
42
Jazz.
for 1 after 5. Leo, thanks very much for joining us, mate. We'll catch up with you later.
Cheers, guys. Sounds good.
Daryl Mitchell into the attack. The Dazzler. Williams expensive. There's a bit of a release, really, for Central Districts. Some of the boundaries today, Rig, and we'll have a look at those in a few moments' time. Just all about balance and timing, especially the 2 Will Young 6s. So just the way he holds the pose. Can Mitchell make the breakthrough? Yes, he can! Leg side trap in place, and Daryl Mitchell, first ball, has Cleaver for 21. McClure is pumped.
Oh dear. I don't know. That's how we'd have visualised making the breakthrough with the dribbly one down the leg side. But almost, he'd found his timing too well, Dane Cleaver, and he just picked that one off down the leg side too well. Off with the catch. That's a shame for him because he was starting to look quite good on 21. It's 42 for 2.
CD 42 for 2. The wicket of Dane Cleaver. Both openers now back in the pavilion. Cleaver caught McClure, bowled Daryl Mitchell his first delivery. Have a look at this. That is not what you'd call a wicket ball.
Well, he was just looking to turn it around the corner. Looking to hit it along the ground. Just timed it too well. Decide whether you're going along the ground or right over the top. So often if you get caught in between, you can offer a chance. Really disappointing way of getting out because it was a delivery that should not have got a wicket.
Do you know the most excited person on the field right then was Kenny McClure? I got one, he said. Ross Taylor's doing a lot of gardening out here. He came out, he looked skywards. I don't know what he was looking for. This over could go 20 minutes. Tries to York him first up. It's not a bad option from Daryl Mitchell.
Yeah, good thinking. It's definitely Ross Taylor is one of those batsmen that you bowl a full straight 1-2 first up. Your chances of sneaking one through or hitting someone in front are probably best first ball. And Ross Taylor is a player who does get across the stumps and play around that front pad. But he's got such a good eye and such good hands that invariably he hits it.
He's coming off the back of a great 65-2 at McLean Park last up. Oh, short off the gloves, got another, has he? Yes, Taylor's walking. What an over this is turning out to be from Daryl Mitchell.
Wow, goodness gracious. Dribbly one down the leg side. Now pretty much a long hop angle down the leg, and Taylor just tries to paddle it down to fine leg. This succeeds in getting a little tickle through behind. Huge wicket. Taylor gone for a duck. 42 for 3.
Oh, calamity for Central Districts this. First Cleaver, now Taylor. Tom Bruce, the captain, comes to the crease halfway through their 6th over, with his team now at 42 for 3. And the stats on 3 down in the power play are not good.
At this point, Scotty, can I say that Tom Bruce was a very close second to my pick for the Dream11 player to watch for the innings?
Well, you probably weren't expecting him to have the best part of 14.5 overs, though, were you?
No, well, I was looking for your big players, but I would throw Tom Bruce in there as a big player for this side. He's the skipper. He's got a ton of experience. has been to the highest level. And he'll view this as a tremendous opportunity to lead the fight back. Ton of overs to bat, good surface to bat on.
Get fuller and straight from Mitchell.
Yeah, boy,
Just
yeah,
take
boy.
the single.
Yeah, nice fella, nice fella.
Well, it was a bouncer, and I'll give Mitchell that. It was purposely bowled. Just hung there, pitched and then hung in the air. And Taylor just got in a little bit of a tangle. Late decision to hit. I think initially he might have been looking to perhaps get out the way. And then a late decision to look to hit, and probably was a little late on it.
Shot off the pads from Young. Well, Tom Bruce, 85 T20s, average of 26 with the bat, strike rate of 142. To bat well above the average here. 17 times playing for his country, T20 internationals. It's a free hit here. Mitchell with the no ball. Product of Whanganui Collegiate School. Tom Bruce, born in Te Kuiti. Yeah, thumps that. And that is into the stand for 6. Full toll taken. Tom Bruce, good shot, standing and delivering.
Well, how confident is this? Just lost 3 pretty quick wickets. Then again, it was a slow ball that just sat there and asked to be hit. Out the back of the hand. Probably not that confident, given it was a free hit.
Well, still confident. It's been a long morning, eh, Rick?
Confident piece of bowling to bowl a slow ball out the back of the hand when it's a free hit. That's what it was. 51, 52 for 3.
Mark Richardson's taking a confidence-boosting break. Katie Martin back into the box. Katie mentioned it pre-game, but pays to bring it up again. Congratulations on your reselection just this week for the White Ferns. Upcoming series against England and Australia. Huge summer of cricket still ahead for our women.
Thanks, Scotty. Yeah, it's pretty exciting to get back into the team, and first time international women's cricket will be on Spark Sports. So, yeah, the English got through isolation all right. No media coverage on that, so that was a bonus. Spending their time down in Queenstown at the moment, getting prepared for the series.
Well, if you're watching, ladies, welcome. It's great to have you with us, and I hope you're enjoying Queenstown. Back into training today, I understand. So, all the very best for your preparation.
Oh! Toddy, brilliant Toddy! Come on, lads. Lovely shot, Todd Estel. Don't lose another with their tail here, lads.
Todd Estel with a big job to do here.
Todd. Great work for us, Todd.
Just to continue to build upon the pressure exerted by the paceman early.
Down, yes, Todd, yes, Todd. Good boy.
Yeah, Todd Estel has been impressive this season. Some really tough overs. Ross Taylor took a liking to him the other day in Napier, so he's an experienced campaigner. Expect him to come back well. He'll get a bit of assistance, Scotty, with the wind just blowing across him, allowing that drift in and then the spin away.
Come on, the boys.
From these two right-handers.
Keep coming here, Todd.
And I'm sure Jaden Lennox and Ajaz Patel will be watching with interest to see what kind of assistance Todd Astle can wring from this pitch.
Down, down, oi. Nice, Cole. Good
It's
movement,
good tight
Cole,
lines early.
Good, Bill. Into me, Bob. Nice, Bill, nice, Bill.
We like that move of having the slip in. We know from the past games here at Eden Park, Outer Oval, the teams that are able to pick up wickets throughout the innings have been effective in reducing that score.
Be up with Todd. Oh, Kenny. Yeah.
Good shape from Astle.
Keeper, come on.
Interesting place to stand there for Astle on the throw. Standing well in front of his stumps rather than behind.
Well, we speak about the English. It's a very English way of trying to parry the ball onto the stumps. It's better just to leave that direct hit. You're going to get the decision more often than not. I think it's about a metre that you can save if it's a direct hit rather than the fielder taking the ball back onto the stumps.
Down, nice, Todd, nice, Todd.
A little width off at this time, but this is still a very tight over. Just the 4 singles from it so far. 56 for 3. Now on the 7th over.
Lovely efforts out here, lads.
Total-wise, it's reasonable in terms of runs through the power play in the context of the season. It's just the wicket column that is concerning.
Oh, yes, Todd, yes, Todd. And again, Drags, and again.
And another single to finish. It is 57 for 3 after 7. 3 wickets down. Ed Nuttall getting in on the action, and then that will just be one that haunts Cleaver. And this too for Ross Taylor, both leg side dismissals. Daryl Mitchell coming up with a cracking first over.
Well, we talked at the start. Matt Henry hit the length and didn't get any assistance apart from the drop catch at slip, and then 3 very innocuous sort of deliveries, a couple down leg side and short ball, but we'll take that as a bowler. It doesn't matter, it does it, Scotty. You don't have to bowl the perfect ball to get wickets these days.
So time and time again, Katie, there's no diagrams on a scorecard. The stats will do the talking there. Currently Daryl Mitchell has 2 wickets.
One thing about cricket is you get measured on stats, don't you? But stats don't necessarily tell the story of the day. Also, not much space left to draw diagrams on a scorecard, I don't think.
Cole McConkey makes it twin spin. Oh, I've been impressed with Cole McConkey this season, especially with the ball, Katie. He's got tight lines, he's taken key wickets. Stem the flow of runs when required.
Yes, stop, Owen, and stop.
He seems to have a preternatural ability to time that change up too, in terms of when he puts himself in to bowl.
He has been impressive. I've called him my Dream11 person to watch, and hopefully that I don't jinx him like Mark Richardson's jinx Ross Taylor today.
Cole. Down, just one him. Lovely, Cole. Hannon, Dragon, Hannon. Let's see, backward point.
He's had the ability to pick up wickets throughout, not only with his bowling, his batting's been very good. He's had match-winning innings, but he's able to adjust the pace, like you say, come around the wicket and bowl defensively, come over the wicket and get some spin. So it's an important spell in the game for Canterbury to restrict CD going into the back end of this innings.
Oh, almost through that time as well. Tom Bruce just caught in 2 minds about how he was going to play that ball. Have a look at this. He was winding up and then he had to chop down on it.
Oh, yeah. Nice, Henners, nice, Tez.
I wonder how long it will be, though, before Bruce and Young or either of them take it to the spin attack. You cannot play defensively against McConkey and Assel, otherwise they will just keep you pinned.
Down, just one. Nice, Dregs.
Nicely swept.
And again, Dregs. And again.
Yeah, we talk about the
Nice,
overs after the power play leading in, that 6 to 12 over mark being a really important moment in the innings, and it's the end of the over. 60 for 3.
Work, boys. We go with Todd, boys. We go with Todd. Toddy.
Oh, Astle bowls a wide one there. He's just trying to really rip that through.
Good lads. Toddy, Astle.
Yeah, it's a really important moment in the CD innings. Can they take control of these spinners, get on top of them?
Catch it! Get back, get back!
6 runs. Watched it all the way, Will Young. Got plenty of it. His timing on his big shots this morning has been impeccable. There's another example of that.
Yeah, great use of the feet. He's come down the wicket, given himself some room to free the arms through, and it's a solid hit into the wind there.
Is that the start?
Yeah, Todd.
That'll be wide again. That's 2 in the over from Todd Astle as he tries to hurry that one through. He's just got it wrong both times.
You all right, mate?
Yeah, just a hiccup.
Coming, lads.
He's just pushing a bit wider, bit of protection on the offside.
All down.
That's better. Astle, should I say, Will Young moves through to 28. Good strike rate too from Young.
For CD to get a winning total batting first, we know 190 plus is the average pass score, but I think today if they can get around that 170 mark, runs on the board in an elimination final, hopefully that'll put Canterbury Kings under pressure.
Persisted with that fielder in that position today. Matt Henry this time. It's exactly where Ken McClure was fielding when he took the catch. To dismiss Cleaver.
Good boys, good Todd.
Oh, we've seen a bit of drift from Todd Astle, so just potentially a little bit of protection there.
Oh!
That's the delivery for me from Todd Astle. The one that really works. It hurries on, it spins a little, just enough, and it's got bounce too.
He's got some really good variations. This is his wrong in, so just out the back of the hand. He's also got the slider that just slides on, picks up a bit of pace off the wicket.
Oh, lots of turn there. Not called. Almost could have been.
See, there's bounce, hasn't it? It's actually sat in the wicket. It's put lots on the ball. That's bounce. It's good signs.
Top boy.
As I mentioned before, Ajaz Patel will be looking at that with some interest. Single off the last ball of the Astle over. 73 for 3 after 9.
Yeah, the key, Will Young's the key here for me, Scotty. If they can have an in-batter in the last few overs to really get going. So you've seen it's not an easy wicket to start on. If the bowlers can put the ball in a good area, makes scoring difficult, but Will Young can bat deep here at a good run rate. It'll give them that 170 plus score.
Boys, good boys.
Cole McConkey coming back for a second, conceding just 4 off his first over today. Tom Bruce has moved through to 15.
Yeah, just one him, Dezza. Into me, Dez, into me.
Just the 1 run to start. It's Will Young back
Nice,
on
Des.
strike.
Good
Will
stuff,
Young
Des.
took it to Astle last over. Wondering if there was going to be a concerted effort to be a bit more positive.
Yeah, Cole.
One of the features for me of Will Young as a cricketer, he has great timing, and I don't just mean the hitting of the ball like that. Now that's another 6. But he knows how to time an innings.
Yeah, well, he knows how to time a ball as well, Scotty. That is absolutely flowing into the chip stand. Bit of air, he's got down on one knee, and he's cleared that boundary with ease. He's just sliding across Cole McConkey here. He's impressive, isn't he? You talk a lot about Will Young and red ball cricket, and there's a few players off the cab waiting. Devon Conway, he's been batting beautifully for CD. Over 200 strike rate so far. He's finding his timing well.
What has McConkey got?
Down, just one.
A single here, Young.
Yeah, it's really good timing, good placement. Boundary sizes are roughly around 65, but there's deep pockets in that corner.
Good boys, good call.
Coming around the wicket, the angle with the ball. It's really good timing, pushing that for 2s.
Come on here, boys.
Good doubling up those singles.
Oh, down. Yeah, nice.
No run there.
Nice,
Young, 4 6s so far in this innings.
Good work, lads.
It's impressive.
Down, just one. Yes, Des.
Oh, this impressive, Scotty. He's picked his balls well. Picked up the boundaries early in the over. 10 off this over so far. A couple of big overs here. They've really taken it to the spinners. Not with aggressive shots though, have they? It's just been that controlled.
Catch it,
Looking for an opportunity here. Another single taken. That is the over done. Conky, none for 14 off 2, and CD now 84 for 3. Will Young, clean hitting has been a feature of this innings. The way he stood on that one and held the pose. That one on the move, and this one getting down to the pitch of the ball. Full range on display there from Will Young.
It's just crisp cleaning. Cleaning.
It's crisp cleaning.
Crisp hitting. Probably just think I haven't cleaned my house for a while. I'm probably overdue.
You're busy, buddy.
Is it bad paying for a cleaner? I don't know.
It depends on how busy you are. Matt Henry back into the attack. 10 overs gone. I suspect Cole McConkey here just looking for a mix-up, looking for just something to change the game at the moment. Spinners both going for a couple of big boundaries. And that's allowed CD just to advance the run rate up to 8.5 now. Oh, that is special. Will Williams pulls in an absolute blinder, and Tom Bruce is gone.
What a catch that is. Low full toss from Matt Henry. Tom Bruce trying to scoop it under. Will Williams, well, he's got long arms and long bodies, and they're able to collect that. That is a brilliant catch, Will Williams. Tom Bruce has to depart for 17. Stags now 84 for 4.
Mentioned earlier Cole McConkey's ability to change his bowlers and to change the point of attack. Just when the game seems to be slipping away in terms of momentum, he's made the change, brought Matt Henry back. Matt Henry strikes. Again, it wasn't one of the balls you'd say, well, that's a perfect nut, that deserves a wicket, but ultimately it pays off. Drew the drive, Tom Bruce getting aerial, and Will Williams up to the task. Daryl Mitchell, another example, came in, first ball, took the wicket. These are big moments in the game. The big hitting Josh Clarkson comes to the crease following the dismissal of the captain, Tom Bruce. It was wide, it was a full toss in fact.
Yeah, we've been looking at access just wide of that fielder to hit the boundary, but Will Williams made really good ground. He scooped that right from the grass there, and it's one of those ones where you go, why have I not hit that for a boundary?
Good seed from Matt Henry. Tight line to the new batsman, Clarkson.
Clarkson's been impressive. He's got really good timing. Hits the ball cleanly. Partnership be important between these two. They can bat for another few overs, keep that run rate around the 8s and over, allow them to really go hard at the end.
Yeah.
Panic run again here from Central. Just need to settle here. Let Clarkson take a couple of balls, find a bit of a groove. Let Will Young take up most of the strike.
Oh, we talk a lot about T20 cricket, about being proactive, and it's exactly what Cole McConkey did. The City batters targeted with good shots against the spinners, would have been looking to control it, but he felt like they were getting on top and brought his experience back.
Young wants to come back for a couple, won't be able to. He moves through to 39. That's good leadership. Mention it pre-game. There's a lot of trust within the squad for Cole McConkey, which is all you can ask as a captain. You want the other 10 blokes out there, 10 women for that matter, to be able to look at you and to say, yeah, we get what you're trying to do and we believe in it.
Yeah.
You know that better than I do, Katie, having led a very young team this year with the Sparks, which comes with some challenges of its own. But that's all you want from your players. Have some faith. I've got a plan. I'll allow you to contribute. I'll try to make decisions that allow you to show the best of you on the field.
I think as a player, you just want to have that backing of your captain and trust, like you say, Scotty, that they can do the job, and Henry's done it in this over.
Another single to finish here. A good over from Matt Henry, another wicket in it. It is now 88 for 4 after 11. Doug Bracewell getting the gloves on and the pads. Big hitter. He'll be hoping he doesn't have to come in too early here.
Come on in, boys. We're tight, boys.
Will Young is set. He's on 40 from 20. Astle back into the attack.
Down, yes, Todd. Yes, Todd.
Lovely straight bat from Will Young.
Well, we were just speaking about cleaners before, Scotty, and it's been tidy from Canterbury there. Obviously go away on tour, got my house at home with the cat and get a house sitter when I go away, so had to get the house cleaned, and there's a yarn going around which is definitely not true. Bob Carter said that someone thought my house had been robbed because it was so clean and someone had gone and cleared it out.
Oh!
Are you a minimalist? What's the name? What's the lady's name? Maria Kondo, is it? The minimalist. She comes in and just takes out all the junk you bought. Leaves you with a sofa.
I don't hoard stuff. I just don't really fold my washing. You know, it goes from the washing machine to the dryer, back into the washing basket.
So you're running a washing basket wardrobe scenario.
Get there. Yeah!
For LBW, good fielding.
Nice, Jess.
Matt Henry getting down to that one. Yeah, well, I mean, I find that sufficient though, Katie Martin. You know where everything is then. You don't have to buy a set of drawers. You throw it in the wash basket. What happens if you've got the halfway point though?
Oh,
where
down,
you've
come
got
on. Yes,
half
nuts,
dirty
yes,
washing
nuts.
and still half clean washing in the basket. What do you have to do then?
Well, then everything gets re-washed again. So you've got some clean clothes that have been washed 3 times over.
Are you separating your whites?
Good set here, Todd.
Definitely not. That's a bit more admin, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Nice, Dave.
There's
Nice.
some
Come on, come on.
people watching this
Stop the rocket,
telecast
the
who are
rocket. No,
shaking their head
Oh, yes.
at the moment. Katie Martin.
Hopefully Mum's not listening. I'll tell you what's been clean is the last couple of overs. 4 off the previous over and 4 so far, so they've brought it back really well here,
In the
Canterbury
game, lads,
Kings.
in the game. Down, yes, just one. Get that Falcon speed in.
Powerfully
Take
hit.
him, take him.
And they'll come back for a couple to finish the Astle over. That is a goodie too from Todd Astle. Just 6 from it. 93 for 4.
I will tell you though, obviously needing to go on tour next week, so if anybody wants to house it, let me know. They've got a good barbecue and outdoor area, so...
And they can fold your washing. Or do you take that all now in your cricket bag? Does you just tip it straight out of the washing basket, straight into the cricket bag?
Yeah, it does get shoved in there.
You may be giving us a little insight on what you like to room with on tour. Are you running a messy room program as well?
Well, we went through MOU negotiations and we're able to negotiate our own room, so I have enough space for myself.
You're running a messy room. Leo Carter, you're going to give me some reprieve here from Katie Martin's domestic chaos.
Sure about that.
Yeah, well, look, she's running a hell of a washing program. Look, Leo, 94 for 4. I mean, it's good, but another breakthrough here would really make you feel dominant, I suspect.
Yeah, we certainly need another wicket. The last one was pretty well timed because they looked like they were just starting to go there. So, but yeah, they bat pretty deep. So yeah, we certainly need another couple.
Talk to us about your captain, Cole McConkey. We have been discussing him. He seems pretty good at knowing when to make the change. Come back to us after this delivery.
Well on.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right. He certainly does. He reads the game really well. Probably partly why he's skipper, and he's a fantastic leader as well. So I think, yeah, he's certainly been really good for us, and even also doing New Zealand A as well. We did a really good job there. So no, he's always just slightly ahead of game, which is good.
Leo, the wind looked like it has picked up a wee bit. What's the conditions like out there?
Driven powerfully, fielded again. And there's the skip.
Yeah, it has a little bit, Katie. It's really nothing compared to an easterly at Hagley Oval, but it's a light, very light breeze. But the boundaries are pretty short anyway, so it's fast outfield. The pitch looks like it's starting to get a bit better. So.
Interesting to see Daz Mitchell only bowling 1 over here, Leo. We'll come back to you after this ball from Nuttall. 2 dots in a row.
Yeah.
Oh, that is quick.
Brilliant, boys.
Real hustle in between wickets there. Do you get a sense too, Leo, that when the teams are taking quick singles like that, they're feeling the pinch?
Oh, yeah, maybe. I mean, there was a couple of dots to start, so yeah, he probably just needed to get it off strike, and Youngie's playing pretty well here, so work it over towards him.
The reason why we were talking about washing was because your dad stitches me up, Leo.
Oh, that's big. Very big. That is gone. That's halfway to Kingsland. 50 out for Will Young off just 24 deliveries. 5 sixes in the innings too. Get in the Anger Panthers.
Well, he's sitting there saying we lost all the balls last week and it's our first one out the ground today. Great leverage on that, and he has cleared that by a mile. Just in the arc, wasn't it? Head down, says thank you very much. What a way to bring up his 50. Just 24 deliveries.
He's hit them so cleanly. You mentioned him, Leo. He's playing well, isn't he, Will Young?
Yeah, geez, we need to get him out here.
Has a fling at that one. Fall safely enough. That's through for the single. Moves to 51. The 100 on the board too for CD.
What's the score you're sort of thinking you want to restrict them to at this rate? 102 off 13 overs so far.
I would say we're probably pretty comfortable. Anything like under 175 is pretty decent out here. It's real hard to defend with those short boundaries. So yeah, I'd say we're pretty comfy around there.
Last ball of the Nuttall over. And they'll hustle through for another single taken. 103 for 4 after 13. Thanks, Leo.
Cheers, guys.
$50 out for Will Young. He has peppered this outfield with boundaries throughout the innings. He's gone up in 6s rather than 4s today, but they have been all about control and timing. Superlative hitting from Will Young. He needed a big innings today, and he's on his way to one here at 50 off just 24 balls. Take a change in the commentary box. Mark Richardson joins Katie May.
They worked their way back into a reasonable situation. I feel through Will Young, 51-25, standout performance. The run rate only at 7.9. They'll need plenty to go their way over the next 7.
Catch it, get it there.
They'll need that to go their way too. They'll need it to get down. It won't get down. It's a gift. And it's a very, very untimely wicket as far as the Stags are concerned.
Oh, Todd Estell's changed ends and he's come up trumps. Tried to whack that over extra cover, but just caught the top edge, and easy catch out there for Shipley. Josh Clarkson, he has to go for 6, just 11 balls, 103 for 5.
Just not enough coming from the other end, is there? For Will Young, Clarkson deciding the run rate needed. Lifting, no issue with the intent, execution just not there. Doug Bracewell is a genuine all-rounder at this level. And he has been scoring plenty of runs. He's got a lot of overs to work with, so he's not out there to put icing on the cake. He's a very, very good hitter later on as well, but an opportunity to show that batting skill in what is now a pressure situation.
Well, Doug Bracewell, 3rd top run scorer for CD this year, so we've seen the bowlers, as we see another replay of that wicket, just slicing that, get all of that he wanted, and easy catch.
Nice to welcome in. Well, it's not nice to welcome in Ross Taylor, actually, when, Ross, you were the player I picked to be the one to watch in this game.
Down there.
Was there a sorry there, Rigger?
I suppose there's an apologies from me too, Rick.
Yeah, perfect.
Well, you were actually working your way back into this. I thought it was an untimely dismissal, the last one. How do you feel about the situation right now, 104 for 5?
Yeah, I mean, Clarkie's been a bit of a rock for us. Can take it deep and obviously take this Canterbury bowling lineup apart. Doug Bracewell, as you said before, has been outstanding for us, but he's obviously having to rebuild for us now.
Down, yeah, Toddy.
You're a subscriber into when you get into these finals matches. It's a little bit extra pressure, and often maybe, let's say, the average score batting first here in normal conditions in Auckland, let's call it 190. Do you sort of on average think finals cricket knock maybe 20 off it?
Down. Just want him, mate.
Yeah, I think so. I think not only that, I think it's just the way the competition has gone. It's probably not your traditional Eden Park wicket. I think it's probably a little bit more bounce. Probably a couple of days underdone from where they would have liked to have had it. So, yeah, I mean, if we can get that score of 170 odd, then as we saw, everyone that sort of hip height length has actually been pretty hard to hit.
Bit of traditional Eden Park tennis ball bounce.
Yeah, just one, nice. All over it, Chad.
Ross, we were talking about washing earlier, and Riggy, you won't know, but Roscoe and I were in the academy together a number of years ago, and he was just as messy as I was. It must seem a long time ago. You've been around the traps for quite a while now, and it just must be pleasing to go back, play for City, put the green on there. I know that's important to you.
Yeah, Toddy.
Yeah, I think so. And I was watching breakfast the other day with Rig, and Rig couldn't stand up for me when Duncan Garner said that I was nearly 40 years old. I'm actually only 36, Rig. So if you could just pass that on to Duncan for me, it would be much appreciated.
107 for 5. First of all, it's not breakfast. That's the opposition.
Oh, they're the ones that I should be watching. Is that what you're saying?
The age show. And in my defence, you need to watch for longer, because during the ad break I went and Googled Ross Taylor and I did find your real age.
Isn't your phone right in front of you? On the AM show?
Yeah, it is, but I keep on getting in trouble for actually looking at it. But it must be fantastic actually to have played a decent chunk of cricket at the provincial level. And you look at, I mean, I was staggered when I looked at, it was like about 7 or 8 years since players like Kane Williamson and that had played for the Northern Districts.
Yeah, Kane gets rested most of the time. He gets rested for New Zealand too.
Oh, it's hard life, is it, for you? You've got to play all the time.
Yeah, I lost that privilege a long time ago.
Down, just one. And then stop. In the rocket.
What's impressed you most about the CD team this season so far?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, it's been a few years since I come back. I almost feel like Doug Bracewell, in my eyes, is still only 25, 26. He's actually 30 years old, with a lot of experience. And I think ever since Will Young's been in the Black Cap setup, I thought the way he's come out and batted has been fantastic. Even today, he started off really well. A couple of balls back of the length, putting it into the bank for 6. I think there's a lot of experience on the side.
Catch it, get there, get back, get back.
Get up, get up, get up. Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Keeper.
Although you see it so often nowadays, you could possibly call it mundane as well.
Thanks. I think we can have a quick look at this one, Rigger. Brilliant from Bose. He patrols that area so well. We'll have a quick look at this one. Oh, screamer catch, isn't it?
The hand is, ball's released.
Oh, he's done so well.
Runs.
It's maybe why you're in it slips, is it, Ross?
Oh, I don't know about that. Daryl Mitchell dropping one earlier. He's a bit younger than me.
Nice slow ball there from Williams. You would have noticed it over the years, just the improvement in fielding, wouldn't you, Ross? I mean, this sort of thing. Well, those catches they just happen. Nearly every game you see something like this now.
Yeah, the athleticism that everyone, the practice that goes in behind it. As you said,
Great work here, boys.
There's quite often that would happen, and you don't even think anything of it. But to save 5 runs, it's a big moment for us as well.
Down, just one. Good Bob.
Or misfield.
Yeah, take him.
And it will cost them an extra one there.
Nice boys.
Unforced error, as you could say.
Interested to know from your perspective, Roscoe, about the advent of T20 cricket, how that influences Test match cricket. Do you think that the scoring rates increase because of the advent of T20 cricket, or is it just all the freedom that players have now?
Probably players look at the situation a lot differently. I guess you're looking at West Indies chasing down 395 the other day. Teams are scared to set, probably 3.5 and over it.
Bowling.
And you know, because of 2020, because of one-day cricket, you know, guys back themselves to get 130, 140 in that last session. So, you know, captains are looking at things differently. But no, I think, you know, a player who can play all three formats, you know, 2020 definitely helps them out.
Is it quite refreshing? If you've been playing Test cricket, then you get an opportunity to go and play T20, where almost you can throw the fear of getting out away and just play with freedom?
Yeah, I think so. But also, you know, you got to weigh up how you're going, you know, as a batter. Is it only a couple of games? Have you got another Test match in a week's time? All those things. So it's nice to have come, you know, from. I'm sure all the Black Caps have enjoyed coming back, having a long go at this, because, you know, it's something that we don't do that often. But you know, it's nice to, I guess, you know, see some of these players that you hear a lot of, but until you play against them, you don't get a really good gauge on that.
I don't think this over's going to end, which is great, because we have to let Roscoe go in a minute, so we get a little bit extra time with him. Got to ask you about how cool it is to be involved in that World Test Championship final coming up at Lord's.
Yeah, I mean, it still probably hasn't sunk in. When Australia tour got called off, I went downstairs and had a chat to my daughter and said, you know, we're in the World Cup final. It's a bit strange. Normally you win a semi-final or something like that, but, you know, the guys have put on a lot of hard work, both the players and the coaching staff. I'm still here.
What's going on?
A few more of those wouldn't go astray. But no, I think you know, Test cricket, to have a bit of context, I think the Test Championship is really good for that. You know, I think all the Black Cap supporters will be watching this Indian England series with a little bit more on it, obviously, and hopefully, you know, in England and in the UK they can sort the COVID out probably as successfully as we have, because it would be great to have that game at Lord's and not at, you know, maybe Manchester or Southampton that we're hearing about.
That would be a great occasion. Right, you know, if you were young, this is likely to be straight. Will there be an over-adjustment as you line it up on side? It is straight, but it's well bowled.
And Chad, you're all over it, Chad.
Full and straight. Over finally comes to an end. It's 116 for 5. And Roscoe, it's been great having you here for a couple of overs. All the best for that final. All the best for this final and possibly the next one. And you can go and cheer the lads on from the changing shed.
Thanks for having me. And remember, I'm only 36, Rick.
You'll be 40 before you know it.
Well, there's a few shots fired there, wasn't there, Rigger?
He's still in pretty good nick, though, for 36. Moving around, although he does just stand at first slip, doesn't he? Most of the time.
Maybe that's the way to elongate your career. I've taken on the wicket keeping, so it's elongated my one, that's for sure.
Well, just 5 overs remaining, 5 wickets in hand, 2 batsmen out there, and we call Doug Bracewell a batsman. So there is an opportunity here for the Stags to put something on the board. But the innings is in the balance for them. They need more from Bracewell, more performances, which he's provided. He'll need to continue with that. Will Young has got to go on here.
Yeah, well, CD's only been going around 6s in the last 5 overs, so Will Young there, if they can go 10s and over from this rate, it's about that 170 plus mark that they were talking about last few overs. If Will Young's there, that 12 plus here at these small Eden Park outer oval boundaries.
Every time they've looked like getting a partnership underway, something that will put the Kings under pressure. The Kings have been able to make a breakthrough right when they desperately needed it. They've always kept the Stags slightly behind the 8 ball.
You talk about that proactive nature of the captaincy, and You see a quick adjustment to the field. Can they get on top here, CD, and get a big score?
Call of 2. They'll need to run on the arm. And that's hard to do here at Eden Park's outer.
I like that option though, Rick. If they can hit those pockets, turn those 1s into 2s. There's some big space there. Seen some interesting running at times today. Seen a few run out opportunities, but really big space there on the leg side. If they can double up those singles, push that run rate up.
Definitely medium pace is looking to go for those slower deliveries in the last few overs. That's their defence here. Look to upset the timing. On a pretty good surface. Oh, that's good bowling. That's really good bowling. I don't care if you just bowl autumn leaves, medium paces. You can bowl that wide Yorker at this stage of the innings. It does a very good job. So close to dragging it back on.
We talk about death plan, and typically your death is in the last few overs, but it doesn't matter in T20 cricket, does it? If you can bowl that death plan, whether it's the wide hole Yorkers, the slower deliveries, at any point to try and restrict them, it's important.
Well, I think you've got to read the situation. And if you've got a batsman out there, and even if it's the first few overs, who just is smashing it, having their day, fine in the middle of the bat, then why not go to wide Yorkers or whatever, which is such a method nowadays when it comes to death bowling, not the straight Yorker. Why not do it? Because you've only got to upset their rhythm for 3 or 4 deliveries, and they're likely to make a mistake. Certainly at this stage, they've gone to those deliveries early. I think it's a good ploy by the Kings. Straight now, straight boundaries. Always tests long on and long off. Get around nicely. I mean, the trade-off is when you go to those wide Yorkers, the trade-off are the wides. And you can see 3 in this over already.
Yeah, 6 wides in the last 2 overs. I think there's about 7 wides so far. So you do push it, but bowling that wide hole Yorker allows you to block off one side of the field, so it means that batters have to manoeuvre themselves to get the ball onto the leg side.
Just like that. That's clever stuff. It was needed, thought it out, and executed. Great play from Will Young, leading this innings for the Stags. 127 for 5.
Yeah, it's great movement and courage there from Will Young. He knew the ball was going to be wider, slower delivery, and, well, it's the shortest boundary in the field behind the wicketkeeper. It's just an innocuous innings, really, isn't it? 61 off just the 32 deliveries. It's not that bash sort of play out the ground. It's just good cricket shots. And I know you're a traditionalist rigger, so you'll be pleased with that type of batting.
Oh, he's a test player, Will Young. And he's played some lovely shots. He's most of the time just stood and waited and been reactive. He's shown good timing, good balance, good basics. No slogging. And he looks to have a touch of class about him.
I think sometimes when T20 cricket come in, there was a lot of chat, well, you need to have sort of hockey players or sloggers, and if you can actually just play good cricket shots with a bit of invention, if you can hit 360, then it doesn't necessarily matter. It's just that good timing. You see players that have power, likes of Sophie Devine, Finn Allen, but you also see successful players that have good timing and get value for the shots that they play.
Cloth just over the top. It was a long, full toss. It deserved to be hit. And it did, but only just.
Well, we've seen it. Brilliant catch and extra cover and fingertip stuff there from Tori Astle. unable to get that, but it's a welcome boundary again. Back-to-back boundaries for Central, and this is Doug Bracewell. I think he's going to put the trigger down here and go.
Well, used at interesting times of the innings here, Matt Henry. He opened the bowling, bowled 2 straight, then was brought back, and now won't bowl the final death overs, where often he's been used. Oh, another wide. Boy, the amount of extra balls that would be bowled to the Stags in this over would be quite a lot.
Well, that's their 9th wide, so they've bowled an extra 9 deliveries, and be interested to know how many runs that they've got off those extra deliveries. We saw the last over of 4 off the last ball. That was a legitimate ball. It might not have been. But yeah, you're only facing 20 overs, aren't you? So effectively they've bowled 21 and a half so far. It's a bit of a coach killer, isn't it, the old wides? Yeah, Canterbury Kings have used Will Williams a lot in the death overs. Good slower ball deliveries, good Yorkers, especially those wide hole Yorkers. He's just missed a wee bit today. So it'll be interesting whether they finish up with Daryl Mitchell, Will Williams, potentially one more over from Ed Nuttall.
I think if you can find a couple of real death over specialists, that's beautiful. That is so nice. I say a touch of class. He's certainly got that, Will Young.
Oh, it's not the first one we've seen over the top straight. Will Young bent his knees to get the elevation, to get it up and over. Another ball into those trees. Just cross-seam delivery there, and it's just a soft delivery in the arc. And Will Young has just timed the pants off that. What a shot that is.
Yeah, you're right. It was right in the slot, wasn't it? I was saying, if you can actually find some death specialists, 2 guys who really bowl the death well, they're worth their weight in gold. And in this form of the game, there's no excuses if you are that death bowler for not really training it. The slower balls, the wide Yorkers, slow bounces.
That's a really good delivery from Henry. Just having that variation in the length means it puts doubt in the batter's mind. If they know what they're going to get, they can set themselves up ready to play the shots, but just puts a bit of doubt there.
If you do have the specialists, though, one day they're going to get taken, and then you have problems if they get knocked off their confidence.
Yep.
Nice bounce back.
Back in me.
You can see even at this stage with 4 overs to go, Henry's bowled one sort of traditional ball in this over, which was just full of a good length on about off stump. Got hit for 6 over his head. You just can't bowl that delivery. Now short. And an interesting sort of shot that, which is going to lead to a dismissal. It's a hard shot to back off and hit a ball off the back foot over cover and get any sort of power. And that was the problem. Bracewell just could not find the power and the freedom to do it.
Yeah, shorter delivery. That would have been a sensational shot if they had gone for 6, but he's just chipped it in the air and picked out the fielder there, Dougie Bracewell. He has to go for 13. Stags are 140 for 6 after 17.
Yeah, what a bad performance though from Bracewell. It's a small contribution. He combined for a stand. He's able to take up some overs but continue or generate a small run rate to get a little bit of impetus into the final 3. They still have 4 wickets up their sleeve, 140. They can go another 30 and they've got something to defend.
Yeah, we talked with Ross Taylor about, do you take 20 off the score? And I actually wrote that in my notebook. If you can get that, the pressure of a final, runs on the board, I think 20 runs is about right. That pass score.
Joey Field into the bowlers now. Tell you what, you actually hit that out the screws and you hit it for 6. It's shot of the match. Just so hard to do. Good piece of bowling though, in short with no real pace to it. So just the opportunity just to free the hands and have it slide away with pace behind square wasn't there. He had to play a great shot. Just asking too much. So give the bowler a bit of credit there.
Boys, right in. And here, Coley.
He used to look to back foot punch that up and over extra cover rather than that full flourish.
Yeah,
Right,
nice
well,
call,
he's your man, Katie. The skipper.
Look out.
Conkey, who has bowled in these difficult periods and been very good.
Work, Cole, work, Cole.
He just has the ability to adjust his place, those slight adjustments, whether it's a bit more air on the ball or just sliding across. We've seen this a lot in T20 cricket, haven't we? That off spin is a defensive type bowler around the wicket.
Bang, shouts to catch it, and it should, no, he lets it go. He looks at it, lines it up, and in the end accepts it. He parks out oval and they go all the way.
Well, he had enough time there to think if he could get something on that Carter, but Will Young, he's just put that in the air. Another sweep slog, and it's just travelled for 6. It's a good start to the over for Central.
Just one.
Goes
just
again,
one,
this one's along the ground though.
Into me, into me.
It's that point of the innings, isn't it? When you're in, if you're timing the ball quite nice, you don't care where they're standing on the boundary, you just back yourself to clear them.
And as an in-batter, it's a low-risk shot, isn't it? But if you
down, just
got to the crease and sometimes the timing isn't quite there, you pick out the fielder. So that's the benefit that we've talked to about having an in-batter. Will Young can take to these last few overs if he's there.
Let's go, Coley. Awesome, Cole.
He's 75 from 37.
Oh, just lovely, lovely.
It's one of those discussions, isn't it? You say, well, you've got an in-batter, who's the one that should go? Is it the person that you bring in or the in-batter? But I think as an in-batter, you're more likely to get the timing and hit in low-risk shots for high reward.
Just one, Chad. One, straight in, straight in.
It's good calling, good running, and they'll make it. They needed to get Will Young back to that end, so he'd take the strike for the next over. It's 152 for 6 after 18.
Well, 12 off the over, and she bowled really well from a Conkey apart from that 6. So, but it's at 12 runs and over. Another 20, 30 here for CD will give them a competitive total. Spin hasn't been as effective as I would have thought today on this wicket.
Well, definitely within striking distance of getting past 170. That's about at the level where a couple of good overs in the field starts to put pressure on. Anything underneath that, and as a batting team, you can have some unproductive overs and not start to panic.
Yeah, we saw last week Auckland and Wellington batted quite differently, but were near enough at the same total.
That'll do. That was a soft full toss into a player who's on plenty of not many. You're asking for trouble.
Yeah, 6 off the first ball isn't what Williams would have been after. He's just timed that nicely. Chad Bowes can't do the work this time on the boundary. Yeah, last week the Wellington thrashed it at the start, got off to a really good start, and Auckland pegged them back. And Auckland, a bit of a slower start, but wickets throughout. Wellington obviously winning that game, but yeah, it doesn't matter how you cut a T20 game these days.
Oh, hello. Hello! Shot of the match for me so far, this. as easy as you like over extra cover.
If you want a classical cricket shot, there you go. He has timed that nicely, low off the middle of the bat, over extra cover. Well, you can't get a better shot than that, can you, Rigger?
I'll put the kiss of death on him now. Like 88 and 40. Still the better part of 2 overs to go.
No comment from me.
That'll be one of the great hundreds, this. It's just, sorry, Will Young. It's too early, isn't it? But really, under pressure the whole way through this innings. Just wanted out there and found the middle of the bat straight up.
How many more CD people do you want to apologise to today?
Oh, bowling, great bowling. Get there, come on. Yeah,
Nothing wrong with having confidence in a young man.
Nice there, boys. Nice, Bill. Nice.
I don't remember a shot of anger or anything today. It's just that controlled options. He's pulled really well off the short ball. He's hit a number of sixes today down the ground. Those extra cover shots, well, I do take a liking to those. They're just nice cricket shots, aren't they?
Right, 3 balls to go on this over. I think if you feel you're still at bat, I know it's in the death. You want to find the fence, but be sensible. Nothing wrong if the ball's not there in your boundary zone to get it away for a single. Down the ground, good play.
Good there, Billy.
Young back on strike.
Good boys.
Oh, Will Young also, and I know he's not a T20 international, but he's a test player. He's a New Zealand international, and you look for these guys to stand up. When you do see them in any form at this provincial level, they should look better than the rest. And he does. He looks to have a real touch of class. Look at the strike rate, 217. It's just been sneaky brilliance.
It's unique, isn't it? 1-4, but 9 sixes. He just knows how to build an innings, and as they say, the cream always rises to the top when it counts. So we've seen that today. Experienced black cat Will Young. Will Williams just missed the mark a bit today. He's sort of the go-to player in the death overs for Canterbury. He'll be looking to finish this off.
Oh, I don't know if he's got it. I don't know if he's got enough of it. And here, well, brilliant. Oh, how have you done that? How have you done that, Daryl Mitchell? He's just got in a heck of a tangle. The feet are slipping out. The throat comes back. One hand sticks.
TV umpire to director. We first want to check the height. So we'll start with the front foot, please.
Well, they're going to check this one. There's a lot going on here. Have you jinxed him?
I think I may have,
Front foot is fine. Can I take that back a few frames? Yeah, freeze there. Yeah, that's below the waist. Thank you. Let's move to the catch, please.
That is a catch, though.
He's in the air. The foot is freeze there. Another angle, please. Looks very close to the boundary. Ball's in the hand. Freeze there. Thank you. That's 6 runs. Thank you. 6.
Well, there you go. The brilliance from Mitchell with the diving hand won't count. It was still a pretty good effort. Unlucky. And the great news is I don't have to apologise to everyone from Central Districts just yet. 95 Will Young goes to.
Well, it was a brilliant effort, firstly on the boundary. He's got high. It's the first one he probably hasn't timed all day. Cole McConkey just touched it. Des Mitchell. One-handed catch. He probably could have put 2 out there, but there's a bit of mayo on that one. 95. Can he get that 100?
Well, Mitchell was charging round, wasn't he? Looking for what he thought was just going to be an easy little lob into the breadbasket. And in the end, it had turned and dived. Did a brilliant job. In the end, it's 6 runs to Young.
Down, lovely, lovely.
He'll keep the strike as well. That's important. 173 for 6. 1 over to go. This has been a fine effort by the Stags to get up past 170.
Well, this is the 3rd highest score in the Dream11 Super Smash for the men. 96. We've already had 200, George Worker and Anton Devchich at Pookie Park. Geez, they look nervous, don't they?
Daryl Mitchell will have the responsibility of bowling the final over here. He'll mix it up. Plenty of slower balls. Young's on strike. 4 needed for a brilliant 100. Backs off, just gets 1.
Well, what a time. Score your top score. Elimination final. Central Stags 174. That last over was so important to get them up to the mark that they're after.
Poor Joey Field, he's got to swing, he's got to look for boundaries here. Too soon in the over to worry about leaving Young stranded. Bat on ball. It's a slow ball, rather deceived, happy for a single.
We've seen the slow ball quite effective today, haven't we? It's tended to sit in the wicket a little bit, and Central Stags be able to take that intel into their bowling innings. What's been effective? But Will Young, 97, 3 more needed for his maiden 100 in T20 cricket.
We could get one of those slower balls over extra cover. That's a good opportunity. Gets the width to do it. Can't get it through. Just gets 1. Misfield. Won't be an extra.
Well, he's standing waiting. Good delivery. Daryl Mitchell. He's bowled well today. Picked up a couple of wickets. Joey Field, what's going through his mind? 3 balls. Will he face the last 3 deliveries?
Oh, he's toe-ended it. In the end, I don't think he was trying to get Will Young back on strike. He was looking for the boundary, which he should be doing. In the end, he succeeds in getting Young back on strike.
Well, that's one way to get the single for Will Young. He's trying to ramp that and clear that over.
Right, game within a game. You know, if you're standing on the outer here and he hits it towards you, they're going to be looking for 2. You have a chance of a run out. 2 balls to go. 2 needed for Young. Full toss down the ground. He might be out. He might be out. He's not out. It's a misfield. He comes back. He'll bring up 100. What a performance this has been from Will Young. From the minute he got out there, he has found the middle of the bat and played a blinder under pressure.
Will Young, maiden T20 100. What a game to bring it in. Just 46 deliveries. Unable to take that catch on the boundary. Just miscued that. Good ground made, unable to take that.
Last ball of the innings, down the ground. Probably just 1 to finish things off. They look for 2. They'll look for again. He'll get run out here. There's no way he'd make that single, so they'll just cut it to 1.
TV umpire to director. Run out, please. Best side angle.
So this will be out. Won't really matter as far as Young is concerned. A little bit of a mix-up. I don't think they were ever really thinking there was 2 there.
Collected. Stumps broken. Take it back.
Well, it's relatively close.
Few frames. And roll. 1 more frame. Freeze there. Thank you. Please go on the big screen. Out.
Comfortably out in the end, though. And it brings to a close what's been a fantastic performance from Will Young. And in the end, a really good total as far as the Stags are concerned, given this is a winner-take-all final, an elimination final, 180 for 7 from their 20. At no real point were they in front of the 8 ball, always under the pump somewhat. But it's been the performance of Will Young, 101 runs, the strike rate of 214. Consistent the whole way through with that strike rate, a brilliant performance. Just have a look at it there. 21 from Cleaver. He looked like he was going to get started before he went. There was a good 17 from Bruce, and Bracewell 13 from 13. The contributions at about a run a ball, but they got together with Young, who was scoring at an astonishing rate. And so they were telling partnerships that got them up to a total that I feel the Kings will know that they have to perform and bat well to chase it. One of their key bowlers is with Scotty Stevenson now.
Yeah, thanks, Rick. Well, Matt, it's a total you guys will be comfortable chasing, but it'll still be a challenge out there. Tell us about what it was like, your experience in the field.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're very happy with that. Thought we bowled exceptionally well, and I mean, Youngie just showed about brilliantly, and you can get yourself set towards the end how dangerous you can be with such a small boundary. Obviously, that and then with the wind going that way there too makes it very short. So obviously that's an end we'll probably look to target, but I think overall we'll be happy with that, and we'll go down and chase it.
A couple of wickets for you today as well, mate. Your first over was an absolute ripper, mate.
Oh, cheers, mate. Yeah, obviously it's important that we get off to a good start, especially here at Eden Park. We knew that wickets were going to be key. I mean, you're always going to hit boundaries. It is a boundary type of ground as well. So if you can keep taking wickets, that stems the flow. So I thought we managed to do that.
Obviously, nerve levels are huge at the moment. This is an elimination. You know, you win, you go through. You don't win, you finish your season. So high anxiety?
Oh, I think the guys will be pretty comfortable. I mean, this is what you train for. I mean, we talk at the start of the year to get yourself in a position where you get to play in these types of games, and everyone's really excited to be here, and I think everyone knows what the job at hand is, so I think everyone's pretty calm and just focused on what we need to do.
Perfect. Thanks very much for your time, Matty.
Cheers, Scotty.
So the Stags have the runs on the board, but there's a ton of confidence in the voice of Matt Henry there. He thinks the Kings will have this chase under control. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll head into the business end of this elimination final.
It's the Dream11 Super Smash presented by KFC here on Spark Sport as our summer of cricket continues and the sun is coming out here at the Eden Park Outer Oval. Job one is done from a Central District's point of view. 181 needed from 20 overs for Canterbury Kings. Will Young was the real star of the show. There were a couple of chances early in this central innings and that was one of them. Running between the wickets has been a bit of a problem for CD in the last couple of weeks. Then an easy catch taken by McClure. Will Young got into his hitting, driving nicely too. And unfortunately, from a CD point of view, things started to go wrong. Soon after that, there was a little trap down the leg side. McClure this time in the catching position. Daryl Mitchell's first ball, and then with his third, took Ross Taylor.
Yeah, at this point, the Kings were very much on top of it. At one end, you just had Will Young just playing with wonderful execution the whole way through the innings. Good catch that, wasn't it? Diving away on the offside just at the right time. While the others were going, Young, oh, he was just going great guns at the other end. Every time they looked to accelerate the innings after a small stand, they would lose a wicket. It's a little bit of invention. Not much invention, it was all about just stand and deliver and good timing from Will Young. Little dinky shots weren't really on. That was Bracewell who tried to pull off a spectacular lofted back foot cover drive. They don't often come off that often. And he had to go. But at the end of the innings, Will Young, I'm not going to say accelerated because he scored at a strike rate of over 200 the whole way through. There was a little bit luck here and there. That was a brilliant effort from Mitchell as the backup catcher, but the first catch was on the line, and that was the shot to bring up 100. It was an opportunity to mid off, probably the worst shot he'd played, but what does it matter? What a wonderful 100 in a final under pressure from Will Young. And the final ball of the innings, they tried to push their luck once too often, never really two in that. But it means they have the runs on the board. Around a nice round to 180, meaning 181 runs is required. I'm going to say this game is in the balance. It's a par score for Eden Park.
Yeah, what a star Will Young is today. He really did carry that Central Stags batting effort. 101 runs out of the 180 posted. Here is the bowling card. Matt Henry, 2 wickets. 30 runs of his 4 overs. Bowled well, especially early in the match. Daryl Mitchell, it was a strike weapon. His first over nabbed those 2 wickets. Fairly economical by T20 standards. Williams expensive. Cole McConkey again getting through some good overs through the middle. Astle as accurate as we've come to expect. The dot ball pressure not really there from any of the bowlers. The best of them, the Ed Nuttall.
A lot of extra deliveries bowled as well, a lot of wides. That could be telling. There was probably nearly 2 overs of wides bowled.
Speaking of Matt Henry before the break, and the reason we didn't have a chat to Will Young is that he is mic'd up for this innings, so we'll get in touch with Will throughout the game. Just to reflect on the effort, he'll be pretty focused though on the second part of this job. It's one thing to have the runs on the board, but now you've got to defend, and this is a tough ground to defend on, as you well know, Rig.
Yeah, it is, but I like the look of the Stags bowling unit, particularly the seamers. In a surface that, if you can hit it hard, it's just that it's got that traditional Eden Park, a little bit of stand-up tennis ball bounce. My gut feeling is the Stag seamers will utilise it maybe better than the Kings. Maybe a bowling attack more suited to it.
Well, you've got Doug Bracewell who likes to bowl back of a length and really utilise the bounce in the pitch, and Ken McClure is not a tall batsman, so looking to steepling bounce, and that's full from Bracewell. Just looking for any shape he can find. And first run off the first ball goes to both.
On the other hand, and this is the delivery from Bracewell, it was really along the wicket. Gentle full one, and the timing was excellent. So it really is a surface that put it in the right place, and I think we saw that from Matt Henry. You'll get some assistance. You'll be difficult. You get it in the wrong place, advantage batsman. I'm going to call that a good cricket wicket.
Yeah. Well, there's a margin of error. That's the challenge for the bowler. So the challenge for the batsman is to make sure the timing is there and the shot selection is there. Another single, so both batsmen underway. Again, it's full from Bracewell.
Chasing 180, I think the right approach here for the Kings will be to disrespect these first few overs. Yeah, be positive. And I know it's putting your eggs in one basket, but it's the best basket, and that is to win the game in the second half of the innings.
Shout for LBW, looks leg side-ish. Just didn't come back, that delivery. Sliding and carrying on that way.
Well, he's used to straightening the ball up from that line. Swing bowler, Doug Bracewell. But that was going down the leg side by some way.
It's worth a shout first over, Rig. You'd be up.
Well, in case the umpire hasn't got his eyes in.
You'd take anything. Backing away this time, Bowes. Interesting. Against Bracewell, direct hit. They're interested here.
Well, Bracewell had one of the best views. He's claiming it.
Best side angle.
Tom Bruce, the captain, knocks over the stumps. Has direct hits. It's a lot of ground. No, I think that's out. I think he's short.
Freeze. A frame back, please. Back. And freeze there.
Definitely short. That is going to be the first wicket of the game.
Bat is shot at the ground. Bails lifted. Let's go to the big screen, please. Out. Repeat. Out.
Huge. Central District's captain, Tom Bruce, affects the run out of Chad Bowes. He's gone for one. 2 for 1 in the first over of the game. Early breakthrough for the Stags here, which means Daryl Mitchell has come to the crease. He's become accustomed to making a contribution. Chance for a caught and bowled. Should have been. Doug Bracewell just misses out.
That would have been a good catch. And his follow through, and then having to move against the momentum of his follow through. A little hand on that, I think. Maybe is trying to sort of pull out of the shot. McClure in the end just bonked it back.
Last ball of the over. It's been an eventful one, and it finishes with a cracking shot. Ken McClure has the final say of the first over. It's 6 for 1.
Too full, a little bit of width as well. Rather smeared off drive. That's how the Kings made it to this final. They finished in 3rd position, but on the same points as the Stags. They were beaten by the Stags in the last round robin game for them, and that forced their net run rate below them.
road to the eliminator. Central having the better of Canterbury twice. 18-run victory, followed by a 30-run victory in the last game of the regular season.
Look at how many times they've won by wickets. So that means they've won chasing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. 1.
Jeez, I'm glad you got there, Rick. You were running out of fingers.
Well, they've been great at stats. And I've just come up with a beauty.
You had?
Yeah. And I didn't really trust myself that I had done so well.
Tickner. No! Throws it down from a long way up. Just Blair Tickner. Good battle this too. Daryl Mitchell. We saw him in the field. That first over he bowled during Central's innings, batting innings, 2 wickets from it. He does things on a cricket field, Mitchell. The game comes to him. Tries to go after that one.
Now here's the wicket from the first over, and just unnecessary. So often when you hit it to mid-off and you're thinking you should have got 4, you take off. But at this stage, I don't think you really need to take mid-off on, who's up in the circle. So an error of judgment there, maybe a little bit over-pumped early on in the run chase.
Yep. Delicately played this time. Mitchell, who gets off the mark.
It will be a good match-up. Probably get away with calling it that, wouldn't you?
It's a match-up.
Good match-up between Mitchell and Tickner, because you talk about Mitchell being a player the game sort of comes to. You got Tickner's a bowler who makes the play, makes things happen. He's right up there. I think he's second highest wicket taker in the competition.
He is just relentlessly aggressive, Tickner. I admire that about the way he plays the game. Oh, McClure's gone up. It's gone high. It could be a chance here. It will be a chance. And it's got snow on it, and it's done. Catch taken by Joey Field, and Tickner has McClure caught for 5.
Goodness gracious. You could have crossed for 3 while this was in the air. I don't think I've ever seen a ball with this much hang time. It's still in the air, still in the air. That may look simple, but I tell you right now, those are never easy when it goes that high. McClure, it's gone for 5, 7 for 2.
Cometh the hour, cometh the captain, Cole McConkey. His team on the ropes here. Second over of the chase. They are 2 down. Both the openers back in the dugout. Blair Tickner. ... 1 wicket. That catch from Joey Fieldring, that was an extraordinary piece of fielding.
Just went up and up and up. And so well judged as well.
Yeah, aggression again, another chance here, is it? Oh, just falls short. Real intent here from Tickner. Real intent.
It was a teaser. It split the two. Decision was made to go in. Couldn't have split them any better.
Appeal for LBW. Tickner likes it. Not out, says Billy Bowden, and that is the end of the over. It is 8 for 2.
Well, the bowling fall continues for Tickner, doesn't it? In the wickets immediately, only 2 runs. And that last one, Dane Cleaver, very, very confident behind the stumps here. And I think always headed down the leg side.
Doug Bracewell back into the attack and a chance to welcome into the broadcast Will Young. Congratulations on your maiden T20 century, Will. Fabulous innings, mate.
Thanks very much, Scotty.
Good start.
Hell of a start after these two overs.
One's over the top. That'll be a boundary and a needed one too. Mitchell underway.
Yeah. Just missing his line here. He's a sort of bowler that if he gets his line wrong, he tends to slide a little bit. So it's easy pickings. I'll tell you what, Will, you seem to find your timing the minute you got out there.
Yeah, I got a couple of pulls away early, and my strike rate went up, and I managed to keep it going throughout the innings.
Straight and gone. That is a lovely shot. Sorry, Will, carry on.
Unfortunately, it looks like Daryl's picked up the time pretty early too, so it's definitely game on. You know, I think when Canterbury bowled first in the top 6 with the newer ball, it's certainly got a lot of bounce, so it's important for us. We've got 2 wickets already, but it's important for us to get another 1 or 2 here, because these are 2 key guys for Canterbury, Cole and Daryl. They've been playing well all season.
It seems to be one of those classic surfaces, though, that if you're bowling and you get in the right spot and you put it in, you will get something out of it.
Dead right.
Bracewell again.
Oh, tick.
It's fended down. That's a good quick single taken from Mitchell. Will, fantastic timing in your innings today. It's something that I think that you've got a real good grip on. How do you time an innings? Just talk us through what your thought process was throughout.
Well, as I say, I was lucky enough to get off to a decent start, but the tough bit was losing wickets at the other end and throughout the innings, so it sort of meant that I could be that guy to bat through the innings and trust my timing. So in a way that sort of helped me. I think a lot of batsmen, it's easy to want to hit boundaries too often and tense up.
Oh. A bloke batting through the innings, though, you generally don't associate with a strike rate of 217.
Yeah, I was, you know, just one of those days where it's like, you know, you time the ball and it goes in the gap and you get a boundary, where another day you get a single. So I guess, yeah, today a few little things went my way, which was nice, and that's the end product, is striking at that. Whereas with, I think what was required at the time was a batsman to stay in and bat with the tail and get to a competitive total. So yeah, stoked with 180. We should, hopefully we can defend it out here, but it's a tricky ground when batsmen get in.
Yeah, I guess from a defending perspective, you never really relax, because, you know, side can score so heavily in that second half.
Quick singles, the order of the day here. There's another one. One to come in the over. Yeah, you mentioned the total, Will. I mean, 180 is imminently defendable, isn't it, here? But you have to bowl well. You've got to have your line, and you've got to have your bowling changes well planned as well.
You do, yeah. I'm not sure the stats on it, but Canterbury bowl quite a lot of wides. Their change-ups, they just fractionally missed, and we got a run off it. Hopefully what we can do is those change-ups get dots and start to build the pressure, and from there wickets will hopefully come.
It's great to have your insight, Will. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll be back with you a little bit later. That's the end of the Bracewell over. It's 21 for 2. That's a really interesting point about the change-up deliveries, the off cutters, the lead cutters, those slower balls, Rick. You know, you want those to be your dot balls, your pressure balls. Either dot balls or the kind of ball that draws the false shot and leads to a wicket. But going for runs, all wides, it can prove costly.
I guess there's two different perspectives, I guess, of when you look to use your change up. Is it after you've just been hit for 6 or 4 and you go to a change up? Or is your mentality that bowled a good delivery, a dot, right, I'll go for a change up because the difference is likely to cause a piece of missed time and a potential wicket? And do bowlers really think about it that much?
You know, you've got about 18 paces to think about it every time you deliver a ball. And this format of the game, I think, more than any other, can mentally torture you, because as a bowler, you're constantly thinking, right, what's my plan this ball? It's not what my plan is this over. It's this ball. It's this batsman. What's on the board? What do I have to do? There's an edge, but it flies away. Third man.
I was talking in the build-up, Scotty, about captains needing to play hunches, but I think a key for a bowler is also, you know, being able to read the game. Is to, okay, in this situation, I don't need to do anything different. Bang it away on a good length, as opposed to thinking, right, in this situation, I need to change things up. Because there's no point in changing things up if you don't need to.
Pressure deliveries on a good length straight. You know, asking the batsman questions and saying to a batsman, you can have a crack at this, but it's a good ball, and if you miss out, you might nick off to the keeper, you might just hole out. Can get overcomplicated in the planning. Nothing overcomplicated about that kind of shot, though. Not expertly timed, that time from Mitchell. I think we saw during the middle of this tournament, this Dream11 Super Smash, we saw a lot of teams adjusting to the thinking around the game. And I think T20 as a format rig changes so rapidly. Your thinking on the game changes. We saw a lot of double bluffs, which I think have sort of slowly faded into the background here for more tried and tested methodology.
It's cat and mouse, isn't it? Bowler versus batsman. And as the game evolves, bowlers will try something, probably through necessity, and it'll work. And that'll lead to something new. And then the batting team have to try to counter that, come up with a new theory, a new plan, and when they succeed in that, bowlers have to rethink again.
Yep. That one slips through. Well, the other thing to think about too, you've got a body of analysis now, haven't you? You've got a whole season. You can draw on video evidence, see the weaknesses, see the strengths. We'll take a break here. 26 for 2. Four overs gone. It is glacial pace here in terms of scoring for the Kings, but they will be more concerned about maintaining wickets Victoria Taylor in the background. Good cricketer in her day too. Joey Field took that fantastic catch to dismiss Ken McClure. Will now have a chance with the ball. Just wonder when Tom Bruce will roll the dice with his spinners here. They'll see out the power play with pace. It's been their way. That is beautifully timed from Daryl Mitchell. Boy, that's a great cricket shot.
It's early doors in this run chase, but there is a real similarity between what was happening in the Stags innings and what's happening here. You've got early wickets falling, but then you've got a player coming in and looking very good. A black cap player coming in and shouldering responsibility. Right now for the Kings, it's Mitchell off to a great start.
Yeah. There, Joey. One goes up, one goes down there, Joey.
He's certainly grown into the role, hasn't he? Coming in here at first drop now. Worked hard on his batting rig, and the way he can pivot between being aggressive, looking for the lofted drive, the lofted shot, loves it straight down the ground, but then he can play very delicate shots as well and just rotate the scoring or rotate the strike. Good fielding. It's good from Bracewell, supporting his fellow bowlers. And another good example of it there. Doesn't all have to be power and muscle. Sometimes just playing a more nuanced innings here, keeping things ticking over. Feeling as if you're making progress towards that target. Do wonders for your confidence and the confidence of the bloke at the other end.
It's also the benefit, isn't it, of getting a boundary away, first or second ball of the over. It takes so much pressure off a batting team. Makes the singles actually count.
Punch through from McConkey. That is a good cricket shot too. Couple of boundaries now on the field over.
The top of the bounce. This is turning into a good over for the Kings. Look at that, just standing up, letting the ball do what it's going to do, waiting for it, hitting it right underneath your eyes. Classic piece of batting.
Oh, that's gone high too. There's a chance and it's gone. Captain takes the catch. McConkey, I don't think he meant to loft that one up. Just got the timing wrong. It was good from field, a good response, and the third wicket falls.
He's disgusted with himself here. McConkey didn't need to do it. They had the runs in this over. He's tried to get a bonus. He's tried to play a similar shot to the one he hit for 4, but this time he was moving down the wicket and created a different length for himself. So he's got to go, the skipper, for 7, 37 for 3, under the pump again.
Leo Carter now with a job to do. He's got a man at the other end of the pitch who's timing the ball beautifully. But once again, the momentum shifts in this game. Just when Mitchell and McConkey were looking to get on top, develop the story in Canterbury's favour, they've now had another setback. $11 runs off that Joey Field over before the wicket. It was a very good one for Canterbury. Clean-shaven Ajaz Patel. That is a late summer change. He's gone incognito.
No, he's done me. Because I was trying to identify who the fielder was who charged forward, nearly took a catch a couple of overs back, and I saw Patel on the shirt and I thought, that's not AJ Patel. He looks a lot younger.
Yeah, he looks 12.
Yep.
He's a new man. Well, I've never seen what he looks like. I'm a fan. Handsome man.
Clarky, come straighter, sorry. Coming over. Clarky in front.
It's different, man. A little bit of turn there, first ball, actually, for him as well.
Yeah, I like this. And it was the same last week, Rick, bringing in 2 spinners. Intentionally so. At the smaller ground at McLean Park. Something in that wicket there. There's a little bit more grass on that pitch than here. Now that's gone. Wowee. Tickner takes the catch. Patel strikes. Second ball. It's gone from calamity to disaster here.
Well, what's Carter thinking? First ball, charged down. Well, not charged, but shuffled down. A little bit of width, but it's a fairly adventurous or confident shot. First ball. And it leads to a first ball blob for Carter. 38 for 4.
Is that AJ Patel's first T20 wicket without a beard? Start a new stats column. Cam Fletcher and the wicketkeeper with a job to do now. Leo Carter went after AJ Patel. Couldn't quite get to the pitch of the ball. Oh, that's another big wicket. It has been all about the Stags in this power play. Oh!
Yes.
He's got turn.
Yeah, he's using flight as well. Chalk this up to a little bit of flight. Carter's tried to give himself a little bit of room, which he didn't really need.
Oh, how did that miss?
Love it. Just good traditional left arm spinning this. A little bit of flight. Look at that dip too. Dip, flight and turn.
Kid in the background who's obviously put a note under the headmaster's door. Well played.
Oh, yes.
It's missed roll call this morning. Said he had a sore throat.
Catch it.
Tell again, that one driven straight down the ground. Fletcher gets on the board with a boundary.
38 for 4. You just got to make up your mind, don't you? You get to a point where you've lost enough wickets that faffing round's not going to win you the game.
Mitchell on 25. the real outlier in this batting card so far. 42 for 4. The Stags were 53 for 3. 52 for 3 at the same time in their innings. Into the power play. Katie Martin back into commentary box. As Rig takes a breather. And it's Lennox.
Oh, Jados, great start, Leno. Lots to like about that, Leno.
Yeah, well, Lennox, he's been good this season, only going for under 5s, runs and over. Oh, it's game on here, Scotty, isn't it? 181 the target, 43 for 4, number of wickets. It's been the difference here at Eden Park at Oval. Picking up wickets on regular occurrences tend to get you on top, so he'll be pushing for that 5th.
It's time. There is plenty of time.
Oh! Jaden.
Best part of 14 overs still to go in this game. The target is not beyond reach. Now it's a question of batting intelligence. There's no doubt Mitchell is the linchpin here.
Oh, Jaden.
Yeah, we saw in the seed innings, Will Young 101, and the next top score was Cleaver of 21. So a big job for Daryl Mitchell to do here. And I think if he can get some support of Fletcher Shipley, who's in next, his first game this season, take them a long way to trying to win this game, Canterbury.
Down the ground, it's the shot he likes, and that one is over. 6 more to Mitchell.
Well, there's no fielders behind the umpire, and that's exactly where Daryl Mitchell's gone. He's used his feet well, given himself some space to get over the top. Get it up in that breeze, Scotty, and I'll tell you what, doesn't matter how hard you hit it, it goes.
Just an initial movement that time from Mitchell, trying to put Lennox off his line.
Yeah, just a bit flatter and faster into the stumps. Now we're looking to close this over our 8 off the over so far, but still below the run rate required.
Down the pitch again, Mitchell was thinking about 2, but I think he'll be very happy to keep the strike. That's the end of Jay Lennox's first over. It's 51 for 4. Big game coming up for those ladies right there. Holly Huddleston running the singlet program. As always, Hudders loves a singlet.
Hates a singlet. Old Huddleston, doesn't she?
Looking forward to that match. The Blaze taking on the Hearts. Game 2 of our double-header here, the elimination finals, as Patel back into the attack. It was all about the Hearts here on Sunday. What a performance they put up. Secured themselves 2nd place after the regular season and home advantage. Fran Jonas selected in the White Ferns, 16 years old. Katie Martin. Wow.
Wow, she's a brilliant talent. She's got a mature head on her shoulder, Fran Jonas.
Shot just backing away. May just be a period of accumulation here. I think too that if you're Cam Fletcher and Daryl Mitchell, you may have had a word out in the middle of the pitch and just said, right, let's just find our way into this game. We'll accelerate if we're here to accelerate. There's no point in giving away another wicket, because you've got to think that if one of these two goes in the next few overs, it could well be mission impossible.
Yeah, so nice, Jazz.
Yeah, they'll be looking at try and score off many balls as possible here. Rotate the strike. We heard Matt Henry talk at half-time about the fact that it's a boundary hitting ground. So if you can mix up between getting those boundaries 1 and over with those singles and twos, give them a chance to try and get that run rate required.
Sal, just put that one through a little quicker.
Yeah, Canterbury Kings will be having discussions as well out there around what is the run rate that's manageable. It's around 12.5 and over at the moment. So if they can keep up around that 10 runs and over mark,
Yeah, hit me.
it'll give them a chance to try and take it deep and go those last few overs.
And for all the benefit that Daryl Mitchell probably feels he's deriving from rotating the strike and allowing Cam Fletcher to face a few balls,
Nice, Jazz. So
it's
good.
still an indisputable fact that you've got to find boundaries, and the best placed batsman to do that is Daryl Mitchell. That is the over, 55 for 4.
Terry talked about Fran Jonas, the 16-year-old Ajaz Patel. Well, he's taken some hair off that face of his, and he's about 10 years younger, Scotty. Oh, you've had your beard for a while, mate. How old do you reckon you would look if you took that off?
I'd look 10, which is why I keep it on. That, Katie, and I'm lazier when it comes to facial grooming than you are with your washing, so much prefer it this way. 55 for 4, 8 overs gone. Target of 181 here. If you've just joined us, welcome. Great to be with you on Spark Sport. As we come to the conclusion of the Dream11 Super Smash Grand Final Saturday, live from the Basin Reserve, the Firebirds are in, and so are the Magicians. But who will they face? We'll find out at the conclusion of today's play. These are the elimination finals, the Hearts and the Blaze to go away next. But right now, it's all on the Kings. Can they pull off somewhat of a miracle here? They are behind the 8 ball by some distance, although the required run rate at 10.5 is certainly within the realms of possibility.
Yeah, they've just got to keep close, looking at the overs and the bowlers that they would target. Discussions, who will they look to target? Is it Clarkson?
Away.
Shot off the back foot, nice bounce off the block as well.
This example there, Scotty, of hitting the angles of the field, deep cover fielder. They looked for 2, they talked about pushing for 2, and taking 2 on that slower bouncer off the block.
I just wonder whether Mitchell would just prefer to have a couple of balls here. It's a sighter, a couple of siders from Josh Clarkson. Thinks, all right, I know what I'm up against. That's good.
You get a bit of a rhythm with batting, and if you don't face too many deliveries, you sort of get a little bit out of that rhythm. Still plenty of bounce on this wicket. Slightly rolled his fingers over the over the ball there. I've seen that effective in the Canterbury innings, and you talk to the intel that you get after batting first, so expecting a few of those cross seam slower deliveries.
Look to go after that one, Daryl Mitchell, and in his mind that was over the fence. In reality, that was straight to cleaver.
It's that part of that rhythm, isn't it? If you don't feel like you're facing too many deliveries, you sort of try to force it. Will Youngie faced nearly half the deliveries in the CD inning, so if they can get Mitchell facing majority of the balls, it gives them the best chance.
Going to pull this time, Mitchell. This has been a good over so far from Clarkson. Just the 2 from it. It's a real stifler.
So gave Ross Taylor stick about not being at mid-wicket because he's a bit older, but I'll tell you what, he's fielding out there, so not sure if he's going to get the spring out of his step. Maybe he's just checking on the family, making sure Mackenzie's doing her schoolwork as she needs to.
It's great that he's travelling with his own private pep squad. It's a good shot for none. It's 57 for 4.
Oh, it's definitely getting blusty at. There's Scotty. Fletcher's throwing the kitchen sink at that. Good fielding. There's a family there. Vic Brown. Not sure what Mackenzie's doing with an Aces hat on. I think maybe one of the Aucklanders got around there and gave her a hat.
Oh, she's got the CD top on though. That's just sun smart, isn't it? Maybe it was a needs-must situation.
Yeah, Vic Taylor was a very accomplished cricketer as well. She opened for Northern, a team close to Riggers Heart, as well as Otago and Auckland. Anyone else?
He's had more clubs than Captain Caveman.
Yeah, she was a good player back in her day. Good few overs here for Central, pegging it back, pushing that run rate up, now up over 11s.
Catch it. Bold Leno, great start.
I've been really impressed with Lennox this season. You mentioned his stats earlier, Marty, but he's just such a challenge as a bowler. Dual left-arm spinners. There's no respite as a batsman. Ajaz Patel putting it on a dime at the other end. Lennox, who just is so efficient in the way he delivers the ball.
It's a point of difference, isn't it, of the left-handers. It's a bit of a difference there, just pushing it wide. He's got the ability to bowl wider of the stumps, closer to the stumps, just adjusting that angle. See there, he's come quite wide. Not only where he was, but where the delivery ended up, actually.
Darts this one back in as a response.
There's opportunity there. I talked earlier in the CD innings, that gap on the leg side. The ball's going to angle into the stumps. Can they just take the weight off the delivery and push that for twos?
Good heat that time from Lennox. Brought up the same topic of conversation during the CD innings when Astle was bowling in tandem with McConkey, and at some point you've got to go after. You can't sit back and be dominated by the slower bowlers, think that picking up ones and twos is going to be enough. If you allow Lennox and Patel to settle into their line, then they're going to have a field day with you. You're just not going to get those opportunities. Just the single to finish the over. Another good one from Lennox, 63 for 4.
I think there's an option. Obviously, they don't want to lose a wicket. It'll put them under pressure, but there's an option for them to target one of these overs to control that run rate. If they just continue with those dots, singles and twos, it puts them behind the run rate, nearly up to 12s and over. So they'll be looking at the bowling options here and who can they target? Where can they take that 15, 16, 17 run over from? It'll take a good chunk out of this run rate.
Tickner having some running repairs in the CD gazebo. That's the bowling hand too, so hopefully for his sake that's not too serious. Meanwhile, Clarkson. Oh, that's big bounce from Clarkson. Mitchell somehow got a hold of that.
he's done well to get that. Been an interesting year actually between these two teams. In both games that Central has won, they've scored over 180, 186 I think, and 183. And Canterbury have fallen 20 to 30 runs short, and it's a similar situation again today. So Canterbury will know that what learnings they've taken from those games.
Just the single again.
I also tell you, Scotty, learnings is a terrible word, and I'm not sure why it's in my vocab, but that would be one of the words of 2020, wouldn't it?
Yeah, lessons is the word you're looking for, isn't it, Marty?
Yeah, something like that.
Your learnings, it's really snuck into the sports vocabulary, the lexicon.
I haven't learnt since university, so that was a while ago.
You learned something at university? That's 4 runs. Good shot. Mitchell moves into the 40s.
Wow, it's been a wicket line, that line today, but not for Mitchell with his batting. He's just throwing the kitchen sink at that. That's just angled down leg side. No one out there. That's a welcome boundary for Canterbury Kings. Can he cash in this over and keep going? Daryl Mitchell.
It's right up there with work-ons. Oh, lovely. Should race away, does. Could not be stopped, even though Christian Leopard was only a couple of metres away from that one.
It's just the power, isn't it? He plays the ball so well, straight down the ground, straight bat. Oh, I'll tell you what, you'd be standing there saying, take a photo of that, thank you.
Christian Leopard only had to run 5 paces, still couldn't get there. Great to see him out on the field. He did himself a nasty in Napier in the warm-up. Oh, he's gone again, Mitchell. That's gone all the way, and that is 50 up for the Dazzler. He is taking to this game, Daryl Mitchell.
He's whacked it straight down the ground again. Good swing of the bat. Just angled in to the middle of the bat of Daryl Mitchell's, and he's holding this innings together for Canterbury Kings. Timely 50. I tell you, want to double that score up for the Kings to get across the line.
Right on, no run.
Dot ball to finish the over, but a very good one for the Canterbury Kings. It is 79 for 4 after 11.
Well, that's it. 16 run over that we were talking about, Scotty. Daryl Mitchell's led this batting lineup for the Canterbury Kings all season. Great acquisition from Northern. And with that, he's brought up 2,000 T20 runs.
Not bad. A great milestone for Daryl Mitchell, 2,000 T20 runs. 54 on the board currently, and that is all that is on his mind right now, I am sure, how he gets the Kings across the line. Patel into his 3rd. Fletcher will take the single. Gutted, here's another one for you, Katie Martin. Gutted spelt like guttering.
Leshko's been a pretty popular.
Leshko.
Leshko.
Oh, there's an edge there. Mitchell just losing track of that one. Gives Patel a little push on the way past as well. Nothing in it.
Oh, there's a bit of grip out there, isn't there? Just a slight bit of turn. Amelia Kirby looking at that with a little bit of delight.
Flat. And that's 4. Mitchell continues to find the boundary, continues to keep his side in the game. Sorry, that's Cam Fletcher, not Mitchell.
It's good batting from Cam Fletcher, taking the pressure off Mitchell. Just a bit of flight there from Ajaz Patel, and 1 bounce for 4. Cam Fletcher giving himself a bit of room to swing the arms through. I think it's important innings here for Cam Fletcher. Look for that boundary options, trying to take the pressure off Daryl Mitchell.
Such a Daryl Mitchell shot. It's good from Fletcher. It's almost a run a ball from him, and that's crucial in terms of being able to turn this around and give Mitchell every chance.
Pretty evenly poised. CD at the same point, 88 for 4, so evenly poised here.
Ajaz Patel ran a long way to field that.
Well, he's aerodynamic now, isn't he? Has a bit of freshness on the face. He's walking back though, isn't he? He's taking a few breathers. That's the intent, pushing for twos. Well, Fletcher, he's lost his bat there, and we know he does strength and conditioning outside of his cricket, looking to be a PT, so I'm sure he's probably good on the dive. Maybe not as good as Katie Perkins though.
Last ball of the Ajaz Patel over. Oh, and that's gone straight through. Nutmegged. Now the bonus there as the skipper slips over, and it is 89 for 4.
Well, Daryl Mitchell, he's held this innings together. Nice shots down the ground. Punish the full deliveries and the short deliveries. He's shown the full face of the bat. 56 of just 37 deliveries. He's a key for this Canterbury batting lineup.
The openers could not get away. Bowes and McClure both going cheaply. Mitchell 56 not out. Conkey and Carter also dismissed early in their innings. Fletcher and Mitchell are steering the ship right now. 89 for 4, 12 overs gone. 181 the target.
Well, put yourself in Shipley's shoes, Scotty. He's not played a game all season. He's batting next. He's got a big chase to get Canterbury Kings into the elimination final.
Well, he's listed next. I just wonder if there may be some thought as a change to the order. That's 4 runs. Beautifully played. Mitchell pulling. Excellent shot.
Oh, he just continues on. Short delivery. And he's just helped that on the way. Daryl Mitchell just getting inside the line of the delivery and just helping on it, the ball on its way. It's just innocuous shots, isn't it? It's good cricket shots, good timing. Nothing too much of anger. Getting real value for those.
He's getting the pace he wants to. Clarkson in field. And goes again. Won't be a boundary this time, just the single.
I think there's an option here for Central. We know that if the ball is in the arc, they can swing their hands through the ball. The wind is blowing straight down the ground. So can they look to protect this outfield? Do they look to employ that wide line delivery? That's the shortest boundary out there. 60 metres. Can they protect other parts of the field?
Can't get hold of that one, Fletcher. 87 now from 45 deliveries. Just field 2. If they can clamber over that 100. Peek above the horizon there and think, right, I can see the bottom. Just little milestones throughout this game. Just keeps you in the game, keeps you confident. Mindset in the right place.
Is it a bit like the analogy, you get up the top of the hill on a run and then you just roll yourself down?
Well, gravity takes over a little bit there, Marty. You hope, anyway.
Well, as an ageing female, I definitely know what gravity's about and going downhill.
Oh, you're a beauty. They don't come much more real than you, Katie Martin.
I feel like there's been too many insights into my life today, so thankfully this is hopefully my last commentary gig for this season, and I might not see you back.
Well, there's Maddie Green, Blaze skipper. Susie Bates was very quick to message through some video taken of your hotel room on tour, Katie Martin, with one line attached saying, "It is a good thing that Marty has her own room." It gave me chills. Oh, that is hit hard, and Joey Field has taken that. He has worn it. Right in the rib cage for Joey Field. He's going to suck in a couple of big ones. We're going to take a break. It is 97 for 4.
I say, tried to catch it. No, no, that is what you call a defensive wound.
They're very tough, aren't they, in that region? That's why you need to be extra fat around the rib line.
Well, I like to think they are in that region. Right. Through. Now that will test the fence and it'll make it. Good placement. Fletcher in on the action.
A good use of the feet from Fletcher. A little bit more air on the ball. And he's just opened himself up to guide that through the field. Just give himself a little bit of room. Just accessing wider. And those are the gaps that they'll be looking for, Canterbury.
Foul, Jaden.
Well, if you're sitting in the CD camp here, Rigger, what are your thoughts? Is it wicket? How do we change this game? Or is it just to continue on and try and get those ones, try and restrict them 1s and 2s?
Well, it's a lot of runs required over the last 7.
Pitch it.
Shouts catch and doesn't quite carry. Valiant effort, a brave effort in the end. And he's done a good job to not get done there, Will Young. And trying to take the catch, could have quite easily given up the boundary.
Yeah, it was just outside the line, wasn't he? He had to reach that Daryl Mitchell and nearly a catch.
Foul, foul. Jaden.
You know, there's no doubts that a couple of cheap overs will put a lot of pressure on the Kings. Here he is here. He had a sniff at it. It just was swinging in the air. And so got to the left side of Will Young. But he kept his eyes on it and made sure he got something behind it. Catch it. Oh, no, puts it down. Well, well, well. How crucial could this moment be right here?
Oh, he had that too, didn't he? And then straight out. Could be a big moment in this game.
Yeah. Doug. Doug. Running, Doug. Right there.
That's 14 gone. Here's the drop catch. He should have taken that. Really should have taken it. Big life. Big moment. 105 for 4.
Wow, it's the in better, isn't it, as well? saw Will Young bat a majority of the innings for Central. I know the importance of having an in-batter in the end of an innings to try and get that run rate. It's a big moment in this game.
Here's another big moment. And it's Blair Tickner. He's bowled 2 overs, 1 for 7. He's split the webbing in his bowling hand, I believe. Such a key man there to take a wicket. He's a wicket taker. He's got Mitchell on strike. Mitchell's the one that can win this game.
I think Tom Bruce's thought here, if we get a wicket here, one of these two, break this partnership. 67 off 53 balls. It'll take them a long, long way to winning this game, Central.
.76 from 36. It was just that bad start. They had to consolidate. It's a lot of runs. But this is Eden Park's outer oval. You can score heavily from here. Shipped away, looking for placement. Just one.
I think Tickner will be looking to just adjust that length, mix up shorter deliveries, slower deliveries. Just not allow the batters to stand there and hit through the line of the ball. Cam Fletcher, for me, I think he's got to go. He's the one that needs to push those boundaries. Nearly 13 runs and over required.
Tries to manufacture something on the onside. Yeah, I'm with you there, Katie, because it's too many runs for Mitchell to do himself in terms of the scoring. If, let's say, Fletcher or someone to come just tries to bat with Mitchell, I don't think it'll be enough. I think they'll fall short from this point. So they will need Fletcher to lift the run rate, lift his own run rate. He's got a great start.
I think he's still got a few problems here, Tickner, with that bowling hand.
He's not happy. I think he's going to go off here. So someone's going to have to finish this over. Clearly it's not right. Gee, this is a shame for the Stags. Even with that, first 3 balls were pretty good. Well, he's going to go back to the end of his mark. He's going to bowl again. He sent the physio back to the boundary.
Well, he's been their best bowler, 1 for 9 off 2.3 overs, so he's still got 9 deliveries in his spell, and they want all of those 9 deliveries.
Well, even one good over here, even if he bowls the next 2 deliveries in pain, at this stage, a tight over, and that's what he's providing, will make a huge difference. Seems just almost palming the ball down there.
Well, he's bowling a number of slower deliveries, so it probably puts pressure on that hand rather than just the seam with the fingers.
That was the quicker one, and it'll cost him 4.
Oh, it's the boundary they're needing in this over. Canterbury, another ball just sliding into the pads, and Daryl Mitchell, he hasn't missed those all day. Yeah, Tickner really struggling, isn't he? He just needs to get out this over. Probably need to target this ball as well. This is a big, big ball.
Another slow ball. That has gone right out of the middle. Mitchell, as he hit it out of the ground, he certainly hit it for 6. It's a full-on offensive to finish the over. And Tickner's been taken. He wanted to finish it, and it's cost him. 119 for 4.
It's one of those ones. Does he finish the over halfway and just try and get out of it? He didn't. He kept going. That is a big, big hit from Daryl Mitchell. Tell you what, there is... How many balls have you seen out there? They've put the netting up like they're in the golf course and it still can't protect the ball from that mobile.
Well, you stick netting up at a driving range and it's just an invite for the big hitters to try to hit it over it, isn't it?
Yeah. us batters, we need targets, don't we? We need something to accomplish. And, and I tell you what, you'd be eyeing that up, wouldn't you? Do you reckon you could clear that?
No. Yeah, with a driver and a golf ball. Maybe not a cricket bat and a cricket ball. And it was really clever stuff also from Mitchell, who took it upon himself to be the aggressor. As the aggression, I'd say, had gone out of the bowling from Tickner, who just wanted to finish the over off, Mitchell pounced. Patel was quite splendid in his 3 overs. There is some turn for him. Ball over the wicket.
Fouled,
That's not turning.
I was surprised, actually. He's come over the wicket, which you don't see many left-arm spinners these days do, and he's getting a bit of grip out of, I wouldn't say they were foot marks, that's for sure, but maybe just a little bit of dusting on the top of the wicket. He's trying to tuck in those batters. The other thing with this rig is he's coming into the pads, and it's the bigger boundary on that side, so it's good defensive play.
Yeah, it's an easier line to bowl to try to restrict the scoring to one side and ask these two batsmen to back off and try to hit him through the offside.
I think the other thing with that is that it's just holding up in the wind slightly, so it means it's just haven't quite got that timing down the ground.
6. Fletcher's in on the action now. They need him to front, and he is.
Well, that's timing there. He's already accessed to 4 in the previous Patel over, and now he's gone for 6. Cam Fletcher adjusted around the wicket, and that's just in the arc, and he has thrown everything at that. That has absolutely gone.
I'd say that there's a few hearts and mouths out there. There'll be a few lumps and throats as far as the stats are concerned. Looking odds on in the early stages of this innings to win the elimination final comfortably. Mitchell and now Fletcher have other ideas. This is a great partnership.
Catch it.
Shout to catch it, but it's in the gap harmlessly. And they'll pick up 2.
Very good, Fieldy. Oh, Jazz. Come on, boys. Come on, that way.
Yeah, it is a good partnership. 91 off 63 deliveries. Typically, if you can get around 100-run partnership, gives you a really good chance of winning this game. Patel will be looking to close this over out with minimal damage.
Oh, Jazz.
Yeah, nicely bowled. When you get up to 2 runs a ball, I mean, every over needs to go for 12, doesn't it? Every over needs to be a big over. That's the problem for the Kings.
Bowled.
Happy to just take 1. It was a yellow too early. They won't take it. So a good recovery to the over for Patel. There's 4 overs to go now, 131 the score.
Well, they've managed to keep up and around that run rate. In the last 6-7 overs they've been going just under 12, so they've done really well to keep it at a manageable level. Interested to see who Tom Bruce goes to finish out these last 4 overs. Tickner's got 1 more, but I would suspect he probably won't be back at the crease, would he? That broken webbing.
If you need, let's say, 30 from 3, that's 10 runs and over with 2 batsmen in. I say heavy advantage batting team. But that's 20 from this over, isn't it? So they need it. I think this over here, absolutely key. They need a big over, just one really big over to get in front of the game. They're still behind it. They have to deal with the experienced Doug Bracewell, He's got 2 overs to bowl, so if he gets it right, he goes right through.
Yeah, I think the next couple of overs are crucial. Doug Bracewell, he's bowling into the wind. Daryl Mitchell, he's got the wind to play with. We've talked of targeting this over. 2 more overs from this end. Can they take this one big? Dougie Bracewell, he's the experience. He's been so good for the CD team all year.
What's he got? Oh, it would have been a wide. Mitchell's in such good nick. He manages to hit it.
Well, you don't want to leave it and then it be a dot ball and you think, you're joking. That's nearly off the pitch. It's that wide.
Well, I think Bracewell saw him move into the offside somewhat, but didn't go very far. You know what the plan is, though, now, and I think it's the right plan to go to those wide Yorkers. You get it right, then surely they won't average 12 runs and over if you get it right. Straight in the absolute slot and put away.
Well, Cam Fletcher, he has absolutely put the foot down, and well, that's a Toyota, so that won't be your car, Mark. You'll be safe out there. He's bowled it straight at the stumps, and he has cleared the ground. Lucky Mobile's taken a higher insurance policy out, and they're in danger right now. And with that, that brings up the 100-run partnership, Cam Fletcher and Daryl Mitchell.
Fletcher now 45 from 33. Just moments ago, he was on about 20 from 20. Said that Mitchell couldn't do this on his own. Fletcher has taken up that challenge. Responsible innings from the Kings wicketkeeper.
Yeah, I think he needs to go back to that plan of that wide hole. Try and get it outside the hitting arc. Force Fletcher to do the work.
No, he's in the slot again. This should top spin. This should run for 4, and it does. He's missing his line and length here, Bracewell, and he's getting punished.
Well, he's tried to repeat the dose. Cam Fletcher, that takes him to 49. And he's managed to get the top edge on that, but it doesn't matter. This is the big over you're talking about, Mark. Already 11 off this so far.
It's in the slot. The first one, you know, was a really wide delivery, but that's where he's got to be. The next 2 are in the slot. That's the story. Oh, that's bad luck. That's unlucky. And that's the fine line in this situation.
It's good though. The line is the umpires. He's slightly moved across there, so it's a bit unlucky, isn't it? It's those marginal calls that either go your way or you don't. It's a batter's game anyway.
I call that batsman umpiring. How's the placement? Just one. Well, that's the other option he's got. Maybe the slow short ball. And 50 for Fletcher.
It's a really important innings from Cam Fletcher. He's been a rock for this Canterbury Kings innings with Daryl Mitchell. He's done it all season. He's taken the pressure off, hasn't he? He's just taken those boundary options.
Yeah, well, I've been looking for Mitchell, focusing on Mitchell. When's he going to bring this game home? And the other end, it's been all Fletcher. He's been the aggressor of late. Well, Mitchell will have a piece of that. He'll be disappointed. That sat there. Maybe you might have heard him say, oh no, because he's probably missed an opportunity there and he's angry with himself.
Just that off-pace shorter ball. We've seen that come into T20 cricket over the last few years, and it's just difficult to try and get the power on that ball to hit it over the boundary. Another big ball. 13 off this over, 14 off this over so far. Another 6 will get them to that 20 runs mark you're talking.
They might have it. They might have 20 off this over. Yes, they will. What an over. What a timely over this has been for the Kings in the run chase. Exactly what they needed. It's into the Panthers. That one's probably lost. 151 for 4. Game on.
Well, this partnership has been that Dream11 game changer. They've complemented each other well. Daryl Mitchell's hit well down the ground. Cam Fletcher, he's taken to the spin bowlers. And they've missed their line. They've been punished central. And well, we've seen a number of balls out over the boundary. Cam Fletcher's done his job. Well batted. That partnership, 113 of 72 deliveries. They come together. Canterbury Kings in a lot of trouble.
Well, based on my call at the start of that over, I got to say advantage Kings here. 10 runs and over from the last 3. I think at Eden Park's outer, in this form of the game, with batsmen in, both batsmen set. Oh, that's advantage batting team from nowhere. Lennox. Nicely bowled. He's got to keep the ball full. That timing is outstanding. Oh, nearly went for 4. He had no business hitting that for 4.
Well, it seemed like they'd have caught up speed as it's gone. I think we might
Can we check that boundary, please?
have a quick check on this one, just to double check it hasn't gone all the way.
Thank you.
I think Stags were welcome just to slowing the game down a little bit. No
Thank
issue
you.
there.
Balls released. All good. Runs, runs, runs.
Every ball in a beat now. Every ball is game changing.
Catch it, Youngie.
Oh, Young had to sum it up. He was told to catch it.
Nice, Jaden. Keep banging that length, Jaden.
He decided to save the runs rather than try to take the wicket.
Well, he goes for that, and it's a new batter. He misses it, and it's 23 off 16. So, well judged.
Nice, Jay. Nice,
Good
Jay.
stop, just one.
Oh, Jaden.
26 off 16 deliveries. I think they'll look to try and get out this over if they can get 10, and then target the penultimate over. If they can take the 19th over for as many as they can, they won't want to take this to the last over, Canterbury.
Mitchell smashes it into the onside, just one.
Doug.
It's amazing, isn't it? You take it to the last over, and there's a few nerves that come in and slightly miss your timing.
Sorry, 1 sec.
10 off the final over. Yeah, it can go either way. Sometimes it can only take 2 balls. Sometimes it can go right down to that final one.
Nice, Leno.
He's kept it full. And they've found it difficult to get under it. This is good, calm bowling from Lennox. Showing a good head. 1 ball to go. Boy, this will be a nervy ball. It's his final ball in his spell. He's done a fine job as well. Can he finish it off? Oh, beautiful stuff from Lennox.
Oh, Leno.
That is some quality bowling under pressure. Take a bow. That's his spell. 4 overs for 30. Could it be match winning? 158 for 4.
Oh, 7, just the 7 off that over from Lennox. That's exactly what they needed. Tell you what, who's going to bowl this over? This is the game for me. If Canterbury can take this one deep, 15, 16 off this over, puts him in charge.
Well, Tickner's back, and he's got one over. What can he find? He was in trouble with his hand. Don't forget, he's got split webbing on his bowling hand. He was in trouble after 3 balls of his last over. Tried to finish it out, got hit. Now he's back. And he's going to get hit again. Oh, no! No, you didn't! Oh, you did, you know. It's Ross Taylor. And it is a blunder of the highest order in this situation from one of the most experienced players out there. Well, the most. Oh, dear.
I think the pace has surprised him there, and it's just burst through his fingers, Ross Taylor, and then gone onto the boundary rope for 4.
Oh, no. Never would have thought it. Now have another go, Ross Taylor. No, that one a little straighter. Oh, man. Ross Taylor. Never.
Absolutely put the mockers on him right before the game, Rigger.
Oh, no. $18 from 10. Fletcher on strike. Doesn't matter who's on strike. They're both threats right now. Going from both ends. Oh, are they? What? They are going from both ends. They're going a mile. And the Stags, they can't stop it.
Oh, Cam Fletcher, he has just taken the game by the scruff of the neck, and he has cleared that mid-wicket area once again. Blair Tickner, he's just over-pitched. He's bowled it in the slot. Cam Fletcher stepped back into the pocket, given himself some room, and he has swung that straight through the line. Canterbury, 2 more big blows, and that will take them to the final of the Dream11 Super Smash. Well, Mark, this innings, highest order Cam Fletcher.
We got Mitchell on 88. Classy innings. I'm going to say right now, Fletcher's 64 is the innings in the match. You got Will Young, who played a lone hand of 100. And he's been outshadowed.
I thought you were just going to say, is he going to defend this and go, here you go, Mitchell, 12 to get for your 100?
It's not a bad idea. I don't think he's going to do that.
It's a team game.
Well, what's Tickner got? He should have had a wicket. He should have had a wicket first ball. Oh, you clothed into the onside. You get away with that one. They'll look for 2. They want 2. They won't get 2. Tickner's body language looks down now.
It's just that back of a length, isn't it? The slower ball deliveries that have been hitting the bat high, and he just missed. I tell you what, it's small margins in T20 cricket, but a couple of dots to close out this over. Can he squeeze him through?
Mitchell has got underneath it. He's got underneath it. He hasn't got it far enough. Taylor takes it. How crucial will that be? Is it redemption? Has he brought this game back? There's no celebration from Taylor. Wow, another twist.
Well, he's trying to clear that boundary and do this in 2 balls. Taylor, he's tight to that line. He's kept his heels in. But Daryl Mitchell, fantastic innings for Canterbury Kings. He's stood up when it's counted. 88 off just the 58 deliveries. Daryl Mitchell, Canterbury Kings 170 for 5.
A great performance under pressure. There's been some beauties in this innings, in this game. Will Young, now Mitchell. Matt Henry, handy with the bat. He's a bowler who bats. He's got a ton of experience. Should have a calm head. But now you have a non-specialist batsman at one end. The job for the Stags is to get Henry on strike in the last over. Tickner's got one to go in this over. One to go. Fletcher gets it square, and he gets it all the way. How's he done that? It's a beauty of a catch on the outer, but it won't matter because he's not wearing the proper attire.
What a way to end the over. Cam Fletcher, another 6. 176 for 5. One more over, and wowza, what a catch that was.
He's fetched that, hasn't he? Could have so easily just hit that straight up in the air. It's not out because he rolled into the wheelie bins. 176 for 5. 1 over to go. 5 from 6. How? How have the Kings pulled this one out of the fire?
Oh, Doug Bracewell, he stood up all season for CD. 5 runs from the 6 deliveries. Matt Henry on strike. Oh, it's one of those ones when you get out, you just want to be out there, you just want to control the game, but Daryl Mitchell, he's done his job.
Such a good game, isn't it? T20, you can be 4 down for not many. You just need one partnership and you're back in it.
Wow, they've just counter-attacked throughout this innings, Canterbury. Cam Fletcher, he come out with intent. He didn't let the game stagnant, and he took it to central. 71 off 41 deliveries. What a game changer this innings has been.
Right, the Kings need 5 to make it through to the final against the Firebirds at the Basin Reserve in Wellington. Stags, Bracewell's got to pull a miracle out of the bag here. He starts well. Oh, and they'll get one. You just got to run at this stage.
Well, if that hits, it's Cam Fletcher out, 2 new batters on strike and a dot delivery. And he couldn't get it. Just one hit here for Cam Fletcher. Tickner struggling with that hand. Oh, he's a mile in. He was a mile in. Calm down, Katie.
Yeah, you got to feel a little bit there for Tickner. There was no power in the throw. He's struggling with that hand. Means Fletcher's down on strike. 71 from 41. 25 of that was off 20, about 26 balls. What an acceleration. 4 needed. Do it with 1 hit. Get it down the ground. He wants 2. He won't get it. No 2 there. That brings Henry down on strike. I think you've got to get it past Henry. I think you've got to go into the wicket and hope he misses it. Or full and wide and hope he misses it. Or just hope he misses it full stop.
Well, there's a lot of hope in those 3 options there, Rigger. I think that full and wide brings in the edge, which is risky, where it's just 3 off 4. I think he's going to look for pitching it into the wicket, hitting into the long boundary. Just remember, if they get a wicket off this delivery, it's a dot ball, and dot balls are crucial here for Central.
And also, don't forget, because this is a final, elimination final, if they're all square at the end of 20, we go to super overs.
Well, no one in New Zealand wants any more super overs, do we?
Still a lot of thought going into field sets, and rightly so. Give me a dot here. Will make a difference. Oh, it's beautifully bowled. They want to. Pressure on, they'll turn the slip. There's 2 slips. Could there be a run out? Close, really close. There'll only be 1 regardless.
TV umpire to director, run out please. Your best side angle. The ball's collected. Take it a frame back please. And 1 frame forward, freeze there. Thank you. Ready to make my decision. Please put on the big screen out. Repeat out.
Oh my giddy aunt, this game takes another twist. Because that's Fletcher. Cam Fletcher, run out. There was never 2 there. They tried to push it. Both batsmen slipped and lost their feet. And in the end, Fletcher has to wander off. He's played a magnificent innings. 72 from 42. Surely it's enough to win this game for the Kings. It's 179 for 6. Fletcher goes for 72. 3 balls remaining. It's game on again.
They were pushing for 2 here, Canterbury Kings. Matt Henry, he was going back, slipped over, another slip. Oh, it's all happening out there. You say Cam Fletcher out there, Canterbury Kings for the win. And well, Mark Richardson, Henry Shipley, first game of the season, 2 from 3 required. Well, if you want pressure, son, here you go.
First game, first bat.
Just push someone else up the order, please.
Surely they can't lose it from where they were. Oh, that's close. Did that hit the pad first? I'd like another look. Go for the run out. Good backing up. Billy says bat.
Well, this is, if he has not hit this, this is very, very tight. He's gone deep into the crease. It's tailed. Yeah, he's hit that.
Yep. Yeah, well done, Billy. So 1 from 2. Scores are tied. It's just bat on ball. In fact, just let it go and do a run through. Well, they all of a sudden went from making it easy going into the last over for themselves. The Kings, they've certainly made it difficult for themselves.
That's why you don't let it go to the last over, Mark Richardson. A wicket here is a dot ball for Central. Can Canterbury finish the game off, take them to the final?
And don't forget, they haven't beaten Stags in this season either. Beaten twice by the Central side. Yeah, there won't be a run through. Cleve will make sure of that. He's come up behind the stumps. Right on the verge of going into the final against the Firebirds, the Basin Reserve. What's Bracewell got? Well, I think he's got to hit the stumps. I think he's got to go bang, bang. That's all he's got. Look for full and straight. That's what it is. Oh, and they'll get it, they'll get it, they'll win the game. Well played, the Kings. They go up in the shed. They know they pulled this one out of the fire. They did it with one of the finest partnerships you would see in T20 cricket under pressure. They held their heads, they held their nerves, and now they head to Wellington to take on the Firebirds.
Well, the experienced players of the Canterbury Kings lineup have stood up. Daryl Mitchell, 88, and this is the final delivery. Full, just out of the reach of Doug Bracewell. They scamper through for the single, and that takes Canterbury Kings to the final. Peter Fulton, first season in charge of the Canterbury Kings, and he's taken them to a T20 final. What a start for him. So well deserved, Canterbury. That is a big, big run chase. Cam Fletcher and Daryl Mitchell's partnership took the Kings home. 2 wickets for Matt Henry today. Just asked for the experience, and they got them across the line.
You just got to look at the facial expression there of Matt Henry. He knows what they were able to achieve here today. They're under pressure. And look at that. You know, Bowes and McClure 1 and 5, and then the skipper, McConkey 7, Carter 0. But then you got 88 from Daryl Mitchell, showed a touch of class there from 58. And you had Cam Fletcher, the wicket keeper, accelerated to get to his 72. Did such a good job. Bowling all had their moments. Tickner was unlucky, 2 for 38, suffered an injury. There was 1 for 18 for Joey Field, 1 for 31 from Ajaz Patel, who looked a threat because was getting a little bit of turn out of the surface. And in the end, they just were not able to do it. We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll hear from the Dream11 game changer player of the match.
The first of the elimination finals is complete, and it will be Canterbury heading to face Wellington at the Basin Reserve on Saturday. First up here in the presentations is going to be our Dream11 game changer presentation. Cam Fletcher, congratulations to you. You are our game changer today. What an innings, mate, and what a partnership too with Daryl Mitchell. What was it like out there batting with the Dazzler?
Oh, it's always great batting with Daz. Yeah, I think obviously it was a bit of a tough start for us, but you know, we always back ourselves that we've got firepower going throughout the order. And same in the park today, you know, Will Young's innings was an incredible innings. We actually bowled extremely well throughout that innings as well. So we always know on this kind of ground that there's opportunities there to a couple of big overs and you're in.
42 for 4 when you came to the crease. It was all happening in Central's favour at that stage. What were the words between you and Mitchell out there in the middle?
Just keeping a calm head. You know, we know that if we build a partnership there, especially on a ground like this, that you can have the big overs, and we saw that in CD's innings. I think they, you know, they had a couple of low overs, but they also had some big ones. So we knew that if we got a partnership going and we could just maintain that through to 12, 13, 14 overs, that we had enough in the tank to go hard.
Cam, you started just really trying to noodle the ball around, make sure you were scoring at runner ball and rotating the strike, but then you were able to accelerate. Was there a point in your innings where you thought to yourself, I've got to go?
Yeah, probably after the first 2 balls. But yeah, I think it didn't quite come out the middle for me at the start. But Des was just keeping me a level headed and just saying, you know what you can do. And today was that day. You know, it was an exciting game for us. I mean, we came here to win, and to do it like that was awesome.
Shippers was there right at the end, but not a bad time to come into bat for the first time all season when you need 2 runs for victory. But what were your feelings like when you were sitting up in the dugout with the rest of the boys, knowing that there was nothing else you could do?
Oh, yeah. I just got to work on my footwear, I think, just sliding around there. But no, I mean, we always back the guys, and I'm rooming with Shippo at the moment, absolute top man. Did a really good joke this morning, so I got the boys fizzed. And we know what he can do, and he's done an amazing job with Canterbury Country recently and Canterbury A's, and we knew that next step coming in here, that he can do the job.
We congratulate you. It was a great pleasure to watch you perform today, Cam Freshie. Our Dream11 game changer. Well done, mate.
Thanks.
Well, he certainly did change the game, without a doubt. It took a wee while to get started. Here he was saying he was trying to get started. He was going about a run of ball. At the other end, Mitchell was playing very, very well. And then when it was required to accelerate, Mitchell got into a situation where he couldn't do all himself. He needed some assistance from the other end, but he got more than assistance. He got someone who basically picked up the slat, ran with it, and was the main aggressor out there. A brilliant partnership between him and Mitchell, and it means that the Kings will go through to the final. Let's head back to Scotty, who has the losing skipper today.
Yeah, thanks very much, Rig. Well, Tom, I mean, obviously you're disappointed, so we'll skip over that. But the game itself, exciting for us to watch. What was it like to play?
It was awesome. You know, like you say, obviously, result aside, you know, it was disappointing when 2 teams, you know, 180 plays 180 and you win it off the second to last ball. It's a hell of a game. So it was a great wicket. I thought we were in the money at the halfway stage at 180. I thought Will Young's innings was, you know, something special. He probably didn't get to face as many balls as he would have liked, considering he was in the 3rd over. But he was sublime, and he kept us in it. And obviously, yeah, at the halfway stage, I was very happy with 180.
There are idiosyncrasies to grounds like Eden Park Outer Oval, but you had them at 42 for 4. What went wrong from your point of view?
Yeah, look, any time you score 180, you want to start well, and we did. Like you say, 40 for 4. You know, at that stage, you're thinking it's pretty tough for them to come back. I thought credit to Daryl and to Cam. They just were able to keep scoring sort of a boundary and over. And even if they didn't, they were able to just tick it over the next over. So they batted really well. Put some of the guys under pressure that probably haven't been put under, you know, at that stage. So in semi-final time, anything can happen. But yeah, no excuses. We had our chances as well. I think that's a disappointing thing in the field. We definitely had our chances and we let it slip.
We don't want to dwell too long on this performance because the season continues. So what's the next step for you and for the CD team?
Yeah, look, I think the guys have Ford Trophy coming next week. So I know the guys are going to be hurting for a while, to be honest, after this. I think we were really confident heading into this. But it's just one of those things. That's semi-final cricket. And yeah, I'd say just all the best to Wellington and to Canterbury on Saturday.
Well, thanks you for all you guys have done for the season. It's been competitive and we've enjoyed watching you play. So I hope you get around the guys now and just reflect on a season and well played this year, Tom. Congratulations, buddy.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Cole, congratulations. Well done. I know that meant a lot, judging by the reaction in the dugout there. This is 3rd time lucky for this Cantab side against CD. How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, you know, we're wrapped with that win and, you know, coming off a couple of losses of them in the round robin, and to put a performance like that, especially the way we started with the bat, you know, for Fletch and Daryl to put together that partnership, I mean, it's an incredible partnership and one we'll always remember.
It was some game to watch, coming down to the final few overs there. As a captain, what was going through your mind, honestly?
Honestly, I thought, you know, we were a good chance. I thought the way that those boys were striking, we had a shorter boundary with the wind. I thought, you know, they just kept us in that game that whole time and kept us within touching distance, and got a couple of big overs at the end that really sort of sealed the deal there.
You're going to head to a final, wonderful, against Wellington at the Basin Reserve. When you see partnerships like that, when you see players standing up like you did today, as you mentioned, with Fletcher and with Mitchell, what does that do for the team?
Oh, I think, that's a huge bonus for the team. I think, right throughout the season, the success has come on the back of different individuals. So I think as a team and a collective, we take some real, I suppose, positivity heading in towards this final. All 11 guys have stood up throughout the season, and the nature of 2020, it might just be 2 or 3 on the day, but that'll be enough. So, we'll head south tomorrow with a heap of optimism and excitement.
Yeah, you take it right to the wire like you did today. Does that just give you that little extra edge going into a final, knowing that you can get a victory from what seemed to be for a while there, 42 for 4, a pretty impossible situation?
Yeah, certainly. I think, 2020 is one of those momentum games, and especially, being on the better side of those tight little narrow games. I think, heading into Saturday's final, I'm sure it'll be a great game, but I think coming over the line in those really tight games is crucial, and winning becomes a habit in this game.
We'll get those Cantabs booking flights right now. See you at the Basin Reserve. Congratulations, Kyle McConkey.
Thanks a lot, Scott.
Cheers, mate.
So make sure you're on Spark Sport this Saturday afternoon as the Kings will take on the red hot and quite dominant Wellington Firebirds at home there in Wellington at the Basin Reserve. But coming up next here on Spark Sport, we have the next elimination final. It's the ladies' turn. It's the Blaze taking on the locals, Auckland Hearts. The Blaze, well, they're having to do it tough if they want to go through and try to win their 4th Dream11 Super Smash in a row. That is a bit of a grudge